On this damp, rainy October afternoon, Stella Stadium will host one of the biggest games of the year in Division I as Pinkerton and Nashua South take center stage. Throughout the past couple of years, these two teams have been the cream of the crop in Division I, being a part of some historic games, including last year's thrilling overtime state championship game, where South would come away with the win 33-32 after a failed two-point conversion by the Astros. Today, these two great teams will add yet another chapter to the great rivalry. Hello, everyone. I'm Ryan Richard, and join me in the booth today to break down all the action, John Collins. And John, every time Pinkerton and Nashua South get together, you know this is going to be a great football game to watch and pretty much a battle throughout the whole game.
These are the cream of the crop in Division I, Ryan, and no slouch again this year. Pinkerton coming in with a record of 4-1, and as we talked about before the broadcast, all those championships. The only time that they lost in recent memory was South last year. South took the championship. Otherwise, Pinkerton 3 times in a row. They were the champions. They come in here as the favorite in this game, despite the fact that South took the championship last year.
Yes, exactly. And talking about Pinkerton, they have back their star running back, Eric Ginto, who missed last year with a knee injury, and he's looking to bring his team back on top again going against Nashua South.
An excellent player, and it's bad news for South that he is back. You know, South comes into the game with a record of 2-3, Ryan, which means it's a must-win game for them because, you know, if they lose today, 2-4 is not going to cut it. There's only 4 playoff spots in Division I, and as we talked about earlier, Salem is beating everybody this year. North has got the 6-1 record now after that dramatic win over Londonderry last night. Londonderry is on the bubble, 4-3, by losing to North last night in that dramatic 49-48 game that we had on Nashua's ETV last night. They have put themselves in danger of being caught from behind by South, but South has to win today to make that happen.
Yes, the defending champs do have their backs against the wall, but if they're going to get this win today, the big factor will be quarterback Keith Fargus, who, a junior, is this a stud at quarterback and can throw every pass possible on the field.
Yeah, they're a tremendous offensive team, and if you like offense, if you're a fan of football and offense, this is a team to watch because, you know, even if you look at the record, Nashua South played Salem. Salem's is beating everybody. They've been holding people to low point totals. They put up 35 points in a loss to Salem, did Nashua South. That was pretty impressive because Salem has been shutting people out, giving up 7 points here and there. They got 5 touchdowns, Ryan, off of Salem, the #1 undefeated team. So it doesn't seem to be matter for Mr. Farkas who's on the other side of the football defensively. He'll put up some points. The question is, can Nashua South's defense stop Pinkerton's Eric Junta and the rest of the Astros?
Yes, that Nashua South defense has been the key factor for this Panther team. They've let up a lot of big plays, like you just said, against Salem, against North, a lot of big points. Can they stop this rushing attack by Pinkerton? That'll be the question. And here come the Panthers taking the field for the first time today, and they'll be looking to take on Pinkerton. And, you know, John, we talked about it. The weather will be a key factor in today's game. Who do you think has the edge?
I would say that it will be, it's going to be determined because, you know, both of these teams are experienced winning teams. It's a concentration thing, and, you know, it's almost like who's going to show up with the most focus today and to recognize, to take care, to handle the football. I don't think it'll favor any one team, but it's definitely going to be a factor in that you'll probably see some fumbles today. But I would say I expect an equal number in either side.
Yeah, so you're going to have to put 2 hands on the ball today, cover up the ball, make sure you don't cost your team a couple turnovers. But good thing for Nashua South is they played in this type of weather before against Salem, and they put up huge numbers against Salem.
That was an inclement weather day, I take it.
Yes,
Ryan
it was.
does his homework. So, you know, that's proof right there. And, you know, we were just talking about that last night, Tom King and I, about the Patriots and Tennessee Titans game, 59-0. And the elements were overwhelming, it appeared, to the Titans offense. They came up with a big goose egg. And then you have Tom Brady and the Patriots, 59 points. It was almost like, you know, they were playing in Arizona in the Sun Bowl or something. You know, there was perfect conditions as far as they were concerned. So we'll see who's able to ignore the elements and just come out and play their game.
Yes, the weather in that game was a non-factor, and hopefully today's game, the weather will be a non-factor as well. So right now, it's Nashua North versus the Pinkerton Astros, a rematch of last year's state championship game, which went into overtime. We can hope today's game will come to that as well, that excitement.
Yeah, we just saw the tri-captains for Nashua South in the middle of the field. Nick Frederickson, number 12. Dimitri Venitos, number 43. Peter Gill, number 72. Pinkerton getting psyched up for this game across the field. Not a lot of fans here today, and that's kind of understandable, Ryan. It's kind of a miserable day to watch from the stands, but it's a beautiful day to watch from your living room.
Yes, exactly.
You know, watch Nashua's ETV.
Beautiful day to watch from your living room. We're about to hear the national anthem, so we'll take a moment to listen to the national anthem. All right, national anthem is done. Now let's get ready for some football. Nashua South, versus the Pinkerton Astros.
Footing also will be a factor. You know, we just talked about Ryan talked about wrapping up the football. We saw some slips here last night. Andre Williams, the fine running back for North, he lost his footing a couple of times. The turf isn't as new as it used to be with the nice long bristles to grab onto. It's a little more slick, like the old Kansas City Royals days back in the 70s. So you got to watch out on the cuts and on the turns. Be interesting to see what happens on the kickoff. We had a lot of onside kick action last night to make the returners handle the ball in difficult fashion.
Yes, well, Pinkerton will be kicking this one off to start the game as Nashua North will be receiving. Derek Paradis and Nilson Basora are deep back for the Purple Panthers. Sean Kluge will be kicking this one away for the Pinkerton Astros. We're about to start this game. Hope you guys are as ready as I am, as we have a lot of excitement coming your way. And we are off here at Stellos Stadium, and Basora will be receiving this one at his 10-yard line. He's at the 20, has a great couple blocks, and he's brought down at the 27-yard line. That's where Nashua South will set up shop for their first possession of today's game.
Good job of tackling by Zach Tully on special teams for Pinkerton, and it was a one-man tackle, and he did the job. But it is decent field position, as Ryan said, at the 27-yard line.
And coming onto the field is quarterback Keith Fargus to lead his Purple Panthers. The Nashua South will go in their spread formation. Paradis is in the backfield with Fargus. 4 receivers set, 2 split to each side. And there's already a flag on the field to start this first possession for Nashua South. Let's see what the refs have to call here.
Notice some good discipline on the part of the offensive line. They didn't even move after the whistle on offense. Penalties on the defense.
Yep, encroachment on Pinkerton moves the ball up to now the 32-yard line of Nashua South. Once again, Nashua South will go in their spread formation. 4 receiver set. Paradis is in the backfield. Pinkerton now showing a 3-4 defense, trying to defend this spread. Fargus fakes the handoff, throws the pass, looks for Fredrickson, and it's incomplete pass.
Handling the snapping, John Beerin Jr., the offensive lineman, the center for Nashua South, will be called upon to make a lot of perfect shotgun snaps today, Ryan.
Yes, you want to make sure the quarterback and center transactions are definitely complete. You don't want to have any loose balls going away from the quarterback that would lead to a fumble. Now 2nd down and 5 at the 32-yard line for Panthers. Paradis up the middle, and he will get a minimum gain, which will bring on 3rd down and probably about 3.
Yeah, good read and penetration that time by Jesse Trottier, number 72, the defensive lineman, was to step into the backfield when he made the initial impact.
A 3rd down and 3 for the Purple Panthers at their own 34-yard line. Fargus looking at the sidelines, calling the play. Now they will go trips to the left side, where Becerra will be the lone man on the right. Paradis is in the backfield for Nashua South. Fargus calling the play. Pickerton with a 3-4 defense. Fargus fakes the Paradis. Looking for an open receiver. He has Haskell in the flat, but no, that is incomplete. And it'll be a turn. It'll force the Purple Panthers to punt away.
Excellent coverage. Not too much of a pass rush there, but Farkas, who was looking left the entire time, there was really no deception, had a lot of defenders to worry about as he launched that football, Ryan. So despite the bonus of the penalty before the first play, the 1st and 5, they're not able to convert the first down. That's a little bit troubling for South.
Yes, the Pinkerton defense clamped down. And Fargus will punt this one away for Nashua South. And this one will get a little bit of a roll, keep rolling. And this one will be down inside the 40-yard line, the 30-yard line, excuse me, at the 36. And that's where Pinkerton will set up shop for their first possession of the game.
So it rolled to close to a 40-yard punt there. I think somewhere between 35, 40 yards. So Farkas getting the job done. Let's see if the defense can get the job done. It was a 3 and out for the Pinkerton defense. That's a feather in their cap here early because, as we said, 1st and 5 and not able to convert for Nashua South. So literally, I guess they're just still warming up down on the field.
Yeah, so what looked like a bad punt from Fargus got a nice little roll, and now Pinkerton will set up shop at their own 36-yard line. 1st down and 10. Ryan Simpson is the quarterback for Pinkerton. He's the senior. He will actually hand this one off to Ginto. Ginto has some room. He's at the 40. He's at the 50. He has some room. Has one man to beat. It's Haskell, and he's going to be dragged down by Haskell. Still going, and he's going to bring this one all the way. Looks like it might be a touchdown.
Did he stay in bounds?
I don't know. The ref got taken out on the sideline right now.
Oh, you're right. He is hurt down on the sideline.
I don't know which way they're going to call us, but a great run by Ginto if he stayed in bounds. He had Haskell had him wrapped up about the 15-yard line, but Ginto kept moving his feet, and I'm waiting to see the call from the refs.
There was no indication of a touchdown call, Ryan. They may decide to spot the ball where the line judge suffered his mishap because he's the guy that would be able to tell you if at any point Eric Ginta tiptoed out of bounds when he tried to do that tightrope back down the sideline. It seemed impossible that he could stay in with all that kind of defensive action on top of him. But it was the goal judge down here that gave no indication. Let's see how they're going to spot this.
Yes,
they're going to call an official timeout.
And now we're about to resume play, and it looks like Eric Ginto probably stepped out about the 2-yard line, and that's where Pinkerton will start this possession after the long break.
So a tremendous run of somewhere over 50 yards, would you say?
Yes, about that for Eric Ginto.
Yeah, from the line of scrimmage. It was 1st and 10 for Pinkerton, and that was the first play from scrimmage. So I believe the ball was down around the 34-yard line or so, which would make it about a 60-yard run for Ginto to this point.
Actually, they're calling it a touchdown by Pinkerton, and they're going to set up for the extra point. Kluge's on to kick this one for Pinkerton, and it is away, and it is good for Pinkerton as they go up 7-0 over Nashua South early in the first quarter. A long run by Eric Ginto. Bam,
how about
Pinkerton's
that?
On the board.
You know, and as you indicated, Ryan, there was never any signal by an official on the field of a touchdown. Eric Ginto's thunder was stolen away by the injury to the official on the sideline, so we never really did see the traditional, hands up raised by one of the officials for the touchdown indication, but that's what the case was. Apparently, Ginto made his way down the sideline, managed to stay in bounds for a spectacular touchdown run to begin the game.
And Pinkerton draws first blood as they are up 7-0, 10:39 to go in the first quarter over Nashua South. Kluge will be kicking this one off for Pinkerton as Becerra and Paradis are deep back for Nashua South. Kluge kicks this one off, and it looks like the refs are going to wave this one off. When you get a whistle like this, probably an offsides on the kicking team.
Yes, you must be behind the kicker when he makes contact with the football. And our One of our side judges decided that the coverage team got ahead of the kicker, Sean Kluge.
So now Kluge will be kicking this at his own 35-yard line, and Paradis and Basora will be moved up to about their 15-yard line.
So we will start once again. Same setup.
Kluge kicks this one off. Short kick. Basora will have this at his own 20. He's at the 25. Looks for a couple of blocks. He's still on his feet at the 40. Still rumbling on his way and getting pushed back all the way, maybe pushed forward to about his 47-yard line. So that's where Nashua South will start for their second possession of the ball game, trailing 7-0.
Nilson Basora, number 5, the returner there, known for his long strides and speed, also showing off some of the power running. After he was wrapped up, he, with the help of some teammates, forced the pile forward another 5 yards there. Good effort by Nilson Basora. 1st and 10 Nashua.
So Nashua South will start their second possession at their own 47-yard line. Fargus takes the snap. Going with the option, pitches to Paradis. Paradis has some open room. He's down at the 45-yard line. Nice run by Paradis right there for a first down for Nashua South.
Derek Paradis with that burst that we've come to be familiar with. Huge gain on first down, moves the chains. Great sign here now. Nashua, after getting stopped on 1st and 5, first down right off the bat, long run.
First down and 10 at Pinkerton's 33. Now Paradis takes the handoff again, and he gets a minimum gain.
Got to be in good shape to rip off a long run and then have your number called again on the next play. That's difficult, and I wouldn't blame Derek Paradis if he was a little gassed from his big run earlier. He just wasn't able to get around the right end.
Ben Prue was on the stop for the Astros, and now brings on 2nd down and 9 for the Purple Panthers at Pinkerton's 32-yard line with 9 minutes and 42 seconds to go in the first quarter. Pinkerton up 7-0. Fredrickson goes in motion. Hands up the middle to Paradis, and Paradis has a nice little gain there. Bring on 3rd down.
One of the co-captains for Pinkerton, Ben Prue, carries some nice size there in the middle at 6'4" and 220.
He's a load on that defensive line. 3rd down and 6 for Nashua South at Pinkerton's own 28-yard line. Haskell goes in motion. Vargas fades back pass. Tries to set up a screen for Becerra, but that is read perfectly by Pinkerton's incomplete pass.
Yeah, you had 3 defenders in there for Pinkerton. Zach Tully among them, number 86. And it was a look-away situation where Farkas started out looking to the left, and then he came back to Basora, but the danger there was he might have just let it go and put it right into the hands of one of the Pinkerton defenders who seemed to know what was coming there, Ryan.
Brett Laporto read that ball and almost had the interception for Pinkerton. Now 4th down and 6. South going for it. Fargas fakes the handoff, sets up the screen. Becerra has some running room, and he is tackled short of the sticks, and it's turnover on downs for Nashua South as Pinkerton comes up with a huge stop.
Laporto over there to make the stop along with Zach Tully. So good defense on that left side of the defensive line and linebackers and the cornerback crew for Pinkerton. Perhaps Nashua will want to go the other way in the next set of downs. They seem to have some success with the run to the left.
Laporto made 2 big plays. That deflection on the screen to Becerra on 3rd down, and then the stop Becerra short of the sticks on 4th down. And now it's Pinkerton's ball at their own 26-yard line as they find themselves up 7-0 with 8:54 to go in the first quarter. Ginto takes the handoff, has some room to the right side, breaks a couple tackles, and gets it down to the 29-yard line.
Good hits by Matt Valcourt and Derek Paradis to string that out to the left side. Good call, Laporto. We'll have to keep an eye on him on Pinkerton's defense, number 23 for the Astros as this game goes along. Nashua may have to start to go away from him if they want to continue the success they've enjoyed this season on offense, putting up huge point totals so far. They are scoreless in this one.
2nd down and 7 for Pinkerton at their own 28-yard line. Summers goes in motion. Simpson hands it right up the middle, and he's met by a host of Nashua South defenders. That's number 25, Mike Mazzola, who got met in the backfield, and he will be down at their own 31-yard line, bringing on 3rd down and 7 for the Astros.
Yeah, that was a team tackle right there for Nashua. A good job, especially by the left defensive end, number 51, Luke Beliveau, to stuff that run.
3rd down and 5 for Pinkerton at their own 31-yard line, excuse me. Ginto is the deep man in the backfield. Summers goes in motion. Simpson hands it up to the middle to Mazzola, but he is met again by a swarm of Panther defenders.
Loose.
And it looks like he fumbled it.
They are not going to give him credit.
Players are pointing it. They have it.
You know, it was a strip, Ryan, while the ball carrier was on the ground. Coming up with it was number 69, Alan Odell, but the officials decided that the ball carrier was down.
So 4th down and 5 for Pinkerton at their own 34-yard line.
It was a 4-man rush for Nashua that time, and they ran the ball right into the rush, Ryan. So maybe not the best designed play for the Astros in that instance.
2 plays back-to-back, handoffs up the middle to Mazzola, and he went nowhere. Almost got it. Was number 44,
Chris Thistle.
Chris Thistle for Nashua South. And now for the 3rd possession so far for Nashua South, they'll have some good field position to work with.
Well, yeah, that punt went nowhere because of Chris Thistle, as you said, Ryan. He almost got a fingertip on it. The Astros punter was forced to kick it just about straight up in the air, and it went nowhere, went right out of bounds. So credit Chris Thistle with basically what amounts to a huge return there, even though he was the attempted blocker.
1st down and 10 for Nashua South at Pinkerton's 37-yard line. They find themselves trailing 7-0. Vargas going in motion, hands it, pitches it to Paradis. Paradis at the 30, has some blocks, and he's going to be down at the 35-yard line, but flag is down.
We heard holding in the booth up here. We'll see if that's the correct call.
Holding is the call, and that'll push back the Panthers to about the 47-yard line of Pinkerton.
Big swing on that penalty, needless to say. Ryan, was terrific run by Paradis. Good job of Farkas drawing the tackler to him on the option. Spin move and stumbling ahead, but all for naught because of the holding call.
So Nashua South will now be 1st down and 14, about the 41-yard line of Pinkerton with 6 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the 1st quarter. Pinkerton is up 7-0, and now we have a timeout on the field. So John, pretty much both teams have had the ball twice. What is your take on this game so far, early in the 1st quarter?
Well, Pinkerton owns it right now, Ryan. There is, signs of definite strength on offense by Pinkerton, and a little bit of confusion, it appears, on the Nashua South offensive side. I mean, they've had a nice run by Paradis, but a couple of pass plays, there doesn't seem to be anybody open. The speed on defense by Pinkerton has played a factor here early. 1st and 5, it was 3 and out after a defensive penalty to start the game. South wasn't able to convert. Then we saw them basically had 1 first down. They moved the chains, but then stuffed. There was nobody open on pass plays. It looks like Pinkerton not only has the defensive speed, but they seem to have really done their studying on films, because the couple times where Farkas has tried to look away defenders and then throw to the other side of the field, there's been Astros waiting, and there's no deception going on. On the other side, I don't think South defense has an answer for Ginto.
No, but some people are saying this Pinkerton defense is the best in the state, only allowing 16 points a game. Now they'll test the South's offense again. Now it's 1st down and 14 at Pinkerton's 41-yard line. Screen to Paradis. Paradis breaks a couple tackles and makes a minimum gain down to about the 41-yard line.
Yeah, they are 1st and 15. They're not even able to get back to the original line of scrimmage there because of the great pursuit by the Pinkerton defense. It was a good hands play by Paradis, because that was actually a lateral pass. I don't know if that would go as a run in the statistician's scorebook, but it was in my book. It was a 1-yard lateral pass to Paradis. So
Paradis gains 2 on the play. Fargus fakes it to Haskell, looking for a pass, but he's under pressure, looking for a wide open receiver, looking for Frederickson, but it's intercepted by Pinkerton, number 23. That is number 23, Brett Laporto, who made 2 big plays again earlier in the second possession, now comes up with the interception.
That's the last time you'll have to look up that number. It's going to be burned in your memory now. As you called it earlier, look out for number 23, Brett Laporto, and he was just underneath the intended receiver, Nick Frederickson. Ball was underthrown slightly, but terrific job by Laporto, who has factored huge so far on defense for the Astros.
Pinkerton now will have the ball at their own 25-yard line. First down and 10 with 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. They're up 7-0. Simpson rolls out to pass. Now he's just going to tuck this one and go, and he's going to be tackled at the 29-yard line. Simpson couldn't find anyone downfield, just tucked it and ran.
Good job of doing their job, the left side of the defensive line for Nashua, stringing that out, not allowing the quarterback to turn it up the sideline. So it's a 3-yard gain, but it's the kind of thing you want to do. You want to limit the damage on first down and force them into maybe a passing situation. Let's see if the pass rush of Nashua can play a role here.
Second down and 7 at the 28-yard line. Ginto is the deep man in the backfield. Simpson is under center. Simpson hands it off to Ginto. Ginto looking for open space. Gets taken down by number 22, Daniel McCormick. Nice tackle by McCormick to bring down Ginto in the backfield.
Ginto might need a new jersey after that one, Ryan. It was a great job of just hanging on to the shirt material there as Ginto desperately wanted to get past the defender, as you said, Dan McCormick. If he had gotten by McCormick, he really would have ripped off a big run, but that's why Dan held on for dear life till he got some help to put him away. So it's a loss on the play. It's a huge play for Nashua South defense, 3rd and long.
Dan McCormick stood his ground and would not let Ginto get to the outside. It was a minus of 2 yards on the play. Oh, Simpson fumbles the ball, and Simpson has nowhere to go, and he will be taken down. And nope. For a moment there, looked like Nashua South was picking up the ball and going to run with it, but the refs whistled it down.
Well, good job by the Nashua defense to recognize the fumble. Again, that was number 22, Dan McCormick, who had the first hit on the quarterback. Simpson, as he dropped the snap, basically, it looked like a good snap, but Simpson had picked his head up to look downfield before he really had possession.
Simpson just dropped the snap by number 57, Pickerton's captain, Thor Johnson. Just mishandled that, and it'll be 4th down and 9 as Pinkerton will punt this one away. Kluge is going to be at his own 10-yard line and punt this way. Last time, there was a lot of pressure by Nashua South. Let's see if they get this time to the ball and maybe block this punt. Low snap, Kluge under pressure, and it is blocked. It is blocked going into the end zone. It'll be recovered. Touchdown by Nashua South. Purple Panthers on the board. Luke Bellevue blocks that punt right up the middle and picks it up in the end zone. Now we got ourselves a ball game. Big special teams play by Nashua South.
Terrific call, Ryan Richer. You called it. Blocked punt. And it wasn't Chris Thistle this time. I believe it was somebody else that got a hand on it. I'd like to give the credit
Number
to
51, Luke Bellevue.
Did he block it and recover it?
Yes.
I believe you're right. So Luke Bellevue with the defensive play of the game for Nashua, and they'll be able to tie it up if they can get this point after touchdown right here.
Cameron DeCecca on for the extra point. Haskell will be holding for him. And DeCecca right through the middle, and we got ourselves a tie ball game with 3:27 to go in the first quarter.
You know, a high-powered, well-coached, talented team. Do we have a chink in the armor for Pinkerton? Is it blocking on punts? Holy cow, we saw one almost blocked and a terrible punt resulting from Chris Thistle's pressure. Now we have Mr. Bellevue, Luke Bellevue going in, blocking and recovering all by himself in the end zone, and a terrific turn of events for Nashua and their fans, locking this one up 7-7 with 3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Yep, and go back to that touchdown play. It was a low snap, and Kluge tried to bring it in, but he was under pressure by Bellevue, and just couldn't get it off in time, and a great play to pick it up and score in the end zone.
I love those block punts that you can hear up in the booth. I mean,
Yeah,
it was like
I'm with you.
kathumpa, you know, kathumpa. And it's in the end zone and the recovery for Nashua. So a thrilling special teams touchdown, and they will take it, a potential momentum changer here in this one.
Cameron DeCecco will be kicking this one off for Nashua South as Ginto is deep back in about his own 10-yard line waiting to receive this kick. They swib kick this one, and it'll be picked up at the 20-yard line, at the 25, has a little bit of room. It'll be down inside the 30, about the 35-yard line.
Brandon Rogers, I was going to say he ran that one like a linebacker. He just wanted to hit somebody after he picked it up off the ground for Pinkerton. Brandon Rogers on the return, the sophomore running back and linebacker for the Astros. So that's decent field position.
Yes, they've had decent field position on pretty much all their possessions, but they haven't been able to capitalize except on their first one. And now we got ourselves a tie ball game at 3:21 to go in the first quarter. Simpson under center. Simpson hands it off. I believe that is to Ginto. Ginto, look at, turn the corner. He's at the 40, and he's taken down by Haskell, actually number 40 for Nashua South. Number 40, Derek Paradis, before he crosses midfield. So first down for the Astros.
It takes a guy like Derek Paradis to catch a runner like Eric Ginto. Ryan, it was him or nobody because he was going to go all the way again. When he gets around that end, he is so dangerous. It's going to be important for Nashua South to try to cut him off at the pass all day long.
I know we talked about Ginto's speed, but what about Paradis tracking him down? Great play by him. Simpson hands it up to the middle, and that is going nowhere, maybe a minimum gain. Number 25, Mike Mazzola.
Good initial hit. Dimitri Venitos, the linebacker in the middle, and got some help from his friends. So that's a key play after Ginto rips off the big run for a first down. 1st and 10, they stop him with a moderate gain of 3 yards.
Well, we're seeing it by Pinkerton's game plan. Ginto is getting all the outside plays, and Mazzola is pretty much getting all the inside plays, trying to work with two different running backs. 2nd down and 7 at Nashua South's 48-yard line. Simpson fakes the handoff, looking for an open Astro, and he can't get hooked up with Luke Summers. Luke Summers had it on one hand, just couldn't bring it into the second incomplete pass.
Luke Summers was wide open. The pass was overthrown up and to the right, so I'm sure that Ryan Simpson would like to have that one back. Decent coverage. It was about a 3 or 4 yard cushion by the Nashua defender. I don't believe that would have been enough for the first down, but certainly puts, by that incompletion, that puts the Astros in a difficult spot here. Nashua has shown some ability to pressure the quarterback on 3rd and long.
But the Nashua South defense is starting to get pressure on Simpson. 3rd down and 7 at the 48-yard line. Simpson hands it up to Miller. Ginto. Ginto has some room, more than for the first down. He's down at the 36-yard line. Big run by Eric Ginto on 3rd down.
Yeah, it was basically looked like sort of a draw play. You had the pressure going to the outside on the left, outside on the right. Middle was left unprotected. And Ginto, who has been the outside threat all afternoon, a little bit of a change-up by the Astros by sending their speedy back right up the middle for the first down and more. That one hurts.
It does. On 3rd down, Nashua South defense was stepping up, making plays, but then Ginto gashes them for a big run. And it's 1st down and 10 at Purple Panthers' 37-yard line. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. We got ourselves a tie ball game. Simpson hands the ball up the middle. That's Mazzola. Mazzola running through a couple tackles, and he's down about the 31-yard line.
That's the kind of game the Astros like on 1st down. They get more than 5 yards. Call it more like 6. Right up the middle, that could be the weak link for the Nashua defense right now that they need to shore up.
Well, talking to the coaches for Nashua South, they wanted to use Peter Gill at nose tackle. He's about 6'3", 284. Where normal position, that's Michael Brennan, who's coming back from an injury against Salem. But he's usually nose tackle, but they're moving him to end. Simpson rolling back to pass, trying to find an open receiver. That one is tipped and almost intercepted. Tipped by Derek Paradis. Great play on him, and Fredrickson almost went for the diving interception, but it's incomplete pass.
Simpson got laid out by Marty Voorhees on that play, and that was part of the reason that pass went awry, Ryan. It was Voorhees right in the midsection of Simpson, who was a little bit slow getting up from that one, and I don't blame him.
So 3rd down and 4 at Nashua South 32-yard line with 1:19 to go in the first quarter. We're all knotted up.
Simpson
7 apiece.
Simpson consulting the playbook on his armband before that play in the huddle.
Third down. Ryan Simpson under center has a receiver split to each side, hands it to Ginto, but he is met in the backfield. Big stop by number 69, Alan Odell, for the Purple Panthers.
Wow. You know, that was a question of putting your treasure in a sinking ship right there. No fault of Eric Ginto's whatsoever. Tremendous penetration by Nashua, and that was the kind of hit that running backs see in their nightmares right there by Alan Odell. He just basically hit Ginto before he could get his head down. He hit him right in the bottom of the face mask, and that one's got to be a jarring hit in more ways than one for the Astros, and now we're faced with fourth and fairly long here.
Alan Odell just threw away Jesse Trotter, the left tackle for Pinkerton, and made a big stop in the backfield. Now 4th down and 6. Pinkerton is going for it. Fumble snap by Simpson. Simpson rolling back the pass. Under pressure. Almost avoids the sack and incomplete pass. Turnover on downs for Pinkerton. Big stop by Nashua South's defense.
Terrific pressure that time by Nashua South's pass rush. Simpson was lucky to get a playoff after again dropping a key snap, but he picked it up, made a play out of it. Good coverage on defense right there by Derek Paradis. Wanting the flag was number 5, Corey Beck, but the officials decided that it was a clean play and good coverage. And so taking over on downs, terrific stop by the Nashua South defense.
Now both defenses have made a stop. Pinkerton had the interception. Now Nashua South has a big stop on 4th down. So both defenses starting to play very well. South will start this possession at their own 34-yard line. Vargas fakes to Paradis, and he's going, avoids the sack, runs for a minimal gain. Great play by Vargas to avoid the sack and gets a positive gain out of it.
Absolutely got out of the grasp of number 82, the tri-captain Ben Prue, who was in the backfield, nearly had a big sack. And credit Vargas for eluding a loss as the seconds tick down in the first quarter.
Nashua South trying to get a playoff, but the whistle is blown as we go into the second quarter. We're all tied up at 7 apiece. What a great game so far, John,
we've been just so spoiled here at Stello Stadium this year. Ryan, we had a 49-48 game last night, of course, where North was able to defeat Londonderry in a thriller of a game that saw Londonderry be ahead 21-7, and then North came back to lead at halftime 28-21, and then it was Londonderry going up 42-35, a tie in the last minute. North tied it up, won the game in overtime. The difference in the game, a blocked point after touchdown. The difference in this game, a blocked punt, which was foreshadowed by your play call there as Luke Beliveau took it in for the only touchdown. Question is now, will the Nashua South offense be able to get on the board here? It'll be interesting to see, because if they can score, of course, it'll be a go-ahead touchdown. It'll be the first offensive touchdown for Nashua South today if they can do it.
Yeah, special teams can be the difference makers, and if this Nashua South offense has been clicking on all cylinders the last 3 games, they put up 126 points. Granted, the record is 1-2, but the offense has done their part. And if this offense starts to click, it could be big trouble for Pinkerton. Now, as we start this second quarter, 2nd down and 7 for the Panthers at their own 38-yard line. Fredrickson goes in motion. Vargas hands it up to Paradis. Paradis is met in the middle, and he goes down by number 82, Ben Pro.
Yeah, Ben Pro, 6'4", 220. He's going to win that battle one-on-one. So Pickerton with a great start here.
Paradis just had nowhere to go on that play. Now brings on a 3rd down and 7. Nashua South is going to go with a 4-receiver set. 3 to the left side. Basora is the lone man.
Yeah, keep an eye on him
side.
at the top of your screen. He hasn't caught one yet, and I think he's very due.
Fredrickson goes in motion. Vargas fades back the pass, looking for Haskell across the middle, but is incomplete.
Well, the pass was designed to go to Haskell all the way, but he was heavily covered, and there really was nowhere to fit that ball in there, Ryan. I think it was fortunate for South that Farkas basically decided to throw that way into an empty part of the field.
That'll be 4th down and 7. and Nashua South will punt this one away. Waiting back deep is Eric Ginto. He's the barn burner. Let's see if he can get his hands on this ball. Fargus punts this one away, and it is going to be a fair catch. Now Pinkerton that was a fair catch by Eric Ginto. Now Pinkerton will set up shop at their own 37-yard line.
That was a good play by Ginto. He really had nowhere to run as far as a return because it was such a short line drive. But had he let that go by, that could have bounced all the way to the goal line.
Yes, and good kick by Fargus also. You know, that short line drive rugby kick.
He did sprint to the right. Did you see that before he kicked it? And it was sort of like a rugby play. He might have a little bit of rugby in his background.
Pickerton going a slot to the left side. They hit up the middle. Ginto has some room. He has a couple of blockers. He's at the 50, and he's taken down at the 45-yard line. Already into Nashua South territory. Big run by Eric Ginto.
Well, you'll see him running right behind number 78, Adrian Walsh, 6'4", 225. He looks even bigger than that. I don't think that the secondary for Nashua South could even see Ginto for a good 5 to 10 yards there because he was running directly behind his big offensive lineman.
Yes, he's a very elusive runner, and he's following his blocks well right now. And he has another big game for the Astros, as now they are in Nashua South territory at the 43. They hit up the middle to Mazzola, and Mazzola is taken down pretty much at the line of scrimmage, maybe a minimum gain.
No, I think I called the wrong guy. It was 78, C.J. Trebe for Pinkerton. He's 6'5", 290. That looks more like it, but Ginto was hiding behind as he went down the field.
Trebe got downfield, made a couple blocks in pretty much the linebacker secondary positions, and gave Ginto enough room to run for a big gain. 2nd down and 9 at the 42-yard line of Nashua South. They hit it to Ginto again. Ginto in the open field breaks a couple of tackles, and he has another 1st down. He's taken down about the 30-yard line.
Yeah, Derek Paradis had the initial hit on him, and Ginto went right by him like it never happened, and that was a huge gain as a result. You don't want to be tackling Eric Ginto in your safety area. You're in trouble.
That's 2 long runs by Eric Ginto on this drive, and both have resulted in 1st downs. 1st down and 10 at Nashua South's 32-yard line. Pinkerton trying to get this into the end zone to take the lead. Simpson hands the ball to Ginto again. Ginto has some nice running room to the right side, busts into the middle, still on his feet, and gets another 1st down. Nice run by Eric Ginto. Looked like he was going to lose his footing, but holds on and gets another 1st down for Pinkerton.
Well, that's why they invented slow motion, so you could see what the magic tricks that Eric Ginto is performing with his feet. What's going on out there? It's impossible. You would think impossible. I mean, if that was touch football, he wouldn't even have been touched. That's how, in traffic, fancy footwork by Eric Ginto.
Great balance by Ginto, and he has his team down at the 20-yard line. They hit it up to Mazzola. Mazzola still breaking a couple tackles, and he has a nice game for Pinkerton.
They are just going up the middle, Ryan, time after time, and they're getting huge chunks of yardage. The Astros moving the ball down the field. Now, 2nd and short. They could go with a run. They could go with a pass here. The options are wide open when you get huge 1st down gains like that.
That offensive line is just blowing back the defensive line of Nashua South, and the running backs are getting a lot of room to run downfield. Ginto is the deep man in the backfield. Slot to the right side. They hit it to Ginto again. Ginto makes a nice little spin move. He's out in the open field. He's at the 10, and he's down to about the 5-yard line. Another nice, great run by Eric Ginto.
You know, he was run down by Frederickson and also Matt Valcourt right there. That play was designed to go up the middle. And so that time, Nashua sealed it off, and still the magical Eric Ginto found a way to turn it into a 1st down and more. Terrific job of running, individual effort there by Ginto after the initial hit up the middle.
So it's a 1st down and goal for Pinkerton at the 5-yard line as they are trying to break this tie, as we are tied 7 apiece with 8:30 to go in the 2nd quarter.
You know, I want to point out the center for Pinkerton that's been opening some holes is Thor Johnson. You know, when my son was born 9 years ago, I joked with my wife, that's the first name that I wanted. She's like, no way. You know, nobody's going to name their kid
Thor.
You know?
It might as well be an offensive lineman.
Yeah,
Simpson hands the ball up to Mazzola. Mazzola almost to the goal line, but he's going to be taken down about the 3-yard line.
Yeah, just inches away from that goal line stripe. That's a good point. You know, Thor as an offensive lineman, now it sounds okay. But when he's a cute little baby in the crib, it's like, how could you do that to your kid?
Well, if your kid's not going to become an offensive lineman, then you might want to rethink about naming your kid Thor.
The Greek god of thunder, I think,
yes,
isn't it?
I believe so.
The hammer.
2nd down and goal at the 2-yard line. Pinkerton knocking on the door, try to break this tie. Mazzola and Summers are in the backfield. Simpson hands it up to middle to Mazzola. And did he get in? Touchdown, Mazzola.
Yeah.
Pinkerton goes up now.
Mazzola with the lead block by Luke Summers, number 15, going through the hole, leading the way. So, and the cut blocks by the left side of the offensive line. Fairly routine, but well executed by Pinkerton to take the lead.
Yes, we've seen Mazzola get a lot of inside carries, and right there he busted right up the middle of 2 yards. Touchdown, Pinkerton.
Methodically done by Pinkerton on that drive.
Sean Kluge will kick this one, attempt the extra point to make it 14-7. Kluge kicks this one off, and it is good. 14-7. Pinkerton breaks the tie as they now find themselves up 7-14 with 7:45 to go in the first half. Now, John, your take on that Pinkerton drive, they just ran the ball right down the field against this South defense.
It was almost hypnotic. You know, it was like almost foretold by, you know, the fact that there was just nothing in there that said, okay, Nashua was going to be able to stop them. It was just the way they drew it up on the offensive chalkboard, I'm sure, going down on runs up the middle, a lot of them by Ginto, and then, as you said, finishing it off Summers. So it's disheartening, actually, at this point in the game for Nashua's defense. You wonder what they have to offer to stop this machine, this Pinkerton offensive machine at this point.
Kluge kicks this one off for Pinkerton. Becerra will receive this one at his 10-yard line. Fumbles it, goes off his chest, and it looks like it's going to be recovered by Pinkerton. Pinkerton sideline celebrating. Yes, Pinkerton has recovered the ball. Just went off Becerra's chest. The cardinal rule was broken that time by Becerra.
We have two
could not look that one in.
right now.
It was a fumble.
We have 2 players on the field, and it might have been the collision by Becerra desperately trying to recover that. The Pinkerton player is number 31, Andrew Curran. So a violent collision at the point of the fumble down there. You know, I said that the last drive was disheartening. This is disheartening when you have a fumble by one of your best offensive players on the kick return, and then on top of it, he is badly shaken up. On the field, we have 2 players being attended to right now. And, I mean, it looks like the scene of a car crash at this point, unfortunately.
Yes, once Becerra fumbled that ball, it was a free-for-all, and both players seemed to be going after the ball. And at this time, they're both down as the trainers are attending to them.
Yeah, we see definite movement on the part of Andrew Curran. The trainer for Nashua South is one of the best there is, Jerry Holland. He's out on the field right now, and he is attending to Nilson Becerra, who sits up. That's a very nice sign. Nilson was still for a while there. And Nilson is being helped up by Jerry Holland right now and assisted, walking off the field on his own power. Hopefully there's nothing structurally wrong, and it's just a question of getting winded. There was a big wave of coverage players that were, unfortunately, that ball bounced right into them, and Becerra, went off his leg, I think, and an unfortunate bounce for Nashua South right into the waiting hands of the charging coverage crew. So Pinkerton, the rich get richer here. They're ahead 14-7 and looking to add to that here early or midway through the second quarter.
And we've seen right now special teams could cost both teams. The block punt for Pinkerton, and now Pinkerton is knocking on the door once again, making this a 2-touchdown lead after the fumble on the kickoff return.
Yeah, to make matters worse, Nilson Becerra looks like he's going to have to take quite a break from this game. in order to recover if and when he can come back.
They don't want to lose Basora because he's their fastest guy on the team, and he's the speedster that they might want to get in some field. Simpson fumbles the snap again, and now he's going to be taken down in the backfield. That's about third or fourth time now that Johnson and Simpson have this mishandled the snap, and it has cost them a couple times. Pretty soon, the ball could be put on the turf and could cost the Astros dearly.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening in that exchange, but as you said, Ryan, 3 times, and they're fortunate they have not lost possession as a result. Somehow, Simpson manages to fall forward in the midst of a gang tackle and gain a yard.
So 2nd down and 9 at Nashua South's 19-yard line. Pinkerton has the ball with 7 minutes to go. Pinkerton's up 14-7. Right up the middle of Mazzola. Mazzola gets met in the middle by Fredrickson. He pretty much just runs over Fredrickson and is taken down at the 9-yard line.
Yeah, it was not only Fredrickson, but it was also Michael Brannon, and they are counting on the linebackers to come up and wrap up the ball carrier, and it hasn't happened to this point. Pickerton's managed to rip off some big runs, and another Nashua Panther is down on the turf. This has been a hurtful game here so far, starting off with the official that went down earlier, Ryan, something that we hadn't seen ever in covering on Nashua ETV. An official get that badly hurt earlier in the game, falling backwards on his head and being taken away by ambulance. We had a 20-minute break early in the first quarter for that, and there's been a series of players down on the field during the course of this one.
And that's Martin Vujas, who's been taken off to the sidelines now. He's their starting middle linebacker, and now that's going to add more pressure on the Nashua South defense to stop this running game.
Yeah, they seem to be going right up the middle. They're going right at Peter Gill, who has got a tough task as the nose tackle for Nashua.
3rd down and 5 at the 15-yard line. Simpson fakes the handoff, rolling to the right, looking for an open receiver, makes a couple of moves, still on his feet, and he looks like he's close to the 1st down marker. Let's see where he's been spotted.
Yes, I believe he's got it by the length of a football there, Ryan. They're going to move the chains. Great run by the quarterback for Pinkerton, despite being hit several times, which would have been stopped him short of it. He made it.
We're seeing a lot from this Pinkerton running attack is them not going down once they get hit first. It's going to take a couple of defenders to bring down Simpson, Mazzola, and Ginto. So 1st down for Pinkerton at the 9-yard line with 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. They find themselves up 14-7 over Nashua South. Simpson under center. Simpson hands the ball right up the middle. Has a nice little running room. Is down at the 5-yard line. That's number 48, Ken Davies, and he has Pinkerton down to the 5-yard line.
Davies might have tripped over his own teammate there, Ryan, or else he would have ended up in the end zone. He seemed to have a nice hole to run through, and you're seeing a lot of heavy breathing on the part of the Nashua defense right now, and I don't blame them. After the fumbled kickoff return, they've been out there for 2 consecutive offensive series, and their backs are literally up against it right here on 2nd and goal to go from the 6.
Simpson under center. Davies and Summers are in the backfield with him. They hit it off to Davies. Davies has some running room, is taken down inside the 5-yard line.
Great job there by 3 Nashua tacklers, including Dimitri Venitos, who was in on that one, to stop the speedy Ginto short of the goal line. A tremendous feat on 2nd down. Can they do it again on 3rd and goal to go from the 3?
Big play for this Nashua South defense. Right here, 3rd down and goal at the 3-yard line.
This could be 2-down territory for the Astros.
In the backfield now is number 25, Mike Mazzola, and Eric Ginto. Simpson right up the middle, who seems to maybe fumble the ball.
He was cut down immediately by number 52. That's Mike Brannon, who just nosedived everybody and submarined everybody, rather, and made the tackle basically to stop the quarterback a yard shy of the end zone.
Big play by Michael Brennan Jr. Talked about him earlier. Lost him against Salem, was out last week. Talking coach staff, he's one of their best players on defense. They're glad to have him back. He tore his MCL and sprained his ACL. And, you know, he's made 2 big plays right now for Nashua South on this drive, and now he needs to come up huge again, and the whole Nashua South defense, as now it's 4th down and 2 for Pinkerton, trying to make this a 2-score lead.
You know, I just saw the head coach of Souhegan is here, Mike Beliveau, among the crowd here at home Stello Stadium. You know, Pinkerton just called that timeout, Ryan. They might be discussing whether they want to kick a field goal or go for it here. It's 1 yard for a potent offense. Doesn't seem like a whole lot of real estate, but you know, the basic coach's playbook says that, you know, this early in the game, we're still in the first half, it's a 7-point lead, that you just kick the field goal. 4th and 1, they stopped us, but you know, they've had so much success running the ball. I mean, even in the fumble snaps, they get a yard. So you would think they might want to go for it here.
But we'll see what head coach Brian O'Reilly decides, as his team is trying to make this a 2-score lead. 4th down and 2 at the 2-yard line.
Let me correct myself. I said from the 1. It's from the 2. The ball is spotted closer to the 2-yard line, so it's not all that easy right now.
Let's see what Brian O'Reilly, head coach of Pinkerton, decides to go with here. Yep, they are going to go for it, looks like. Got all the big boys in. That's Mazzola deep in the backfield. Ahead of him is Davies in the eye. They hand it to Mazzola. Mazzola leaps into the end zone. Touchdown, Pinkerton.
Nice footwork by Mazzola. There was a little bit of contact in the backfield, and getting in there was Nick Haskell. He wasn't really able to raise his head and get his arms up around the ball carrier, so it was nifty footwork by Mazzola to get to the first down, to the about the 1-yard marker before then he launched himself over the goal line. So Pinkerton makes the right choice. They go for it on 4th and 2. They get the touchdown. Now they have a commanding lead here in the first half.
Big 4th down play. 2-yard run by Mazzola. Kluke on here to extra point. And it is good. 21-7, 3:44 to go in the first half. Pinkerton up. Now Nashua South gets the ball. Still plenty of time on the clock before halftime. The offense has pretty much struggled this whole first half.
Yeah, you know, this is the exact same situation on the scoreboard that Nashua North faced last night, and they were playing Londonderry. They were down 21-7. They came back to win the ball game. Can South do the same thing here? The indications are it's going to be much, much more difficult than it was for North last night. North basically was victimized by an onside kick, and they had an offense that was moving up and down the field. Brandon Carcanis and Dylan Bradeur at quarterback had no trouble scoring points. I'm seeing a lot of trouble by Nashua South in moving the football against this Pinkerton Astros defense.
Julio Fernandez is deep now to return the kick for Nashua South. He's at the 20. Makes a nice little move to the left side, but then is taken down at the 19-yard line. That's where Nashua South will start this drive.
Jake Bernache for the Pinkerton Academy. Astros staying in this lane and making the tackle there on special teams. Nilson Besor, obviously, usually their deep man and return man, injured previously, and so he is on the sidelines right now. He's watching. He doesn't seem to be hurt all that badly, but he is not in there for this offensive series. And we'll see if he plays in the second half. We hope he does. He's number 5. He's on the sideline right now, and they'll have to have another wide receiver go into the game for him. With 3:30 to go in the first half, can South cut into this 21-7 lead?
Yep, and that's going to be Matt Valcourt who will take Becerra's place at wideout. Haskell goes in motion. Fargus fakes it to Haskell. Looking, now they're going to set up a screen to Paradis, but is incomplete.
And you wonder if the play was designed to go to Haskell, because he's behind the diving number 40, Derek Paradis. So you would think that Paradis was blocking for Haskell, but the pass wasn't completed, so they'll just move on.
That's what I was thinking, but it looked like either one could come up with that ball. 4 receivers set for Nashua South. Paradis in the backfield. Paradis, Fargus fakes it Paradis. Now this one is almost picked off by Luke Summers.
Wow.
Ball is going to Jack Labordo.
Summers was clearly the player that had the best chance to catch that football, and he might have just lost the the handle because he was looking at the collision that was forthcoming with the Nashua, the intended receiver.
Fargus trying to thread the needle that time to Labordo, but Summers made a nice play on the ball and deflected it. Now 3rd down and 10 at their own 20-yard line. National South in dire need of a first down here. Haskell goes in motion. Fargus rolls it back to pass, looking for Haskell. It's complete, makes one man miss. It has another, but then it's taken down by Luke Summers with a big hit.
Yeah.
He's going to bring on a 4th down.
Yeah, the block was slow developing by Rob Samard to get over there, and kind of having to step around him slowed Paradis down just enough so that the Pinkerton pursuit could catch up. And as Ryan said, Summers delivering a big hit. So on 3rd and long, nothing doing. Nashua South forced to punt.
Fargus under pressure, but gets this one away. Ginto backpedaling, has the first catch.
Off him.
Off his hands, the ball is loose. Who comes up with it? Pinkerton dives on it. It looks like Eric Ginto came back for the ball.
A huge opportunity goes by the boards, Ryan. It went off of the talented Eric Ginto, and it was up for grabs, and covering for his teammate was number 22.
That's Eric Ginto who came
Ginto
back
coming
for the
back.
ball.
He got up off the ground. My mistake. It was Ginto. What an athlete that guy is. He made a mistake, and he made up for it within seconds, even though there were 3 or 4 more Nashua players than Pinkerton players down there. The Astros able to come up with that recovery.
Great play by Ginto, not giving up on the play. You know he made a mistake, but still hung in there and came back and got the ball.
How about that booming punt?
Nice booming punt by Keith
misjudged
Fargus.
it.
1st down and 10 at their own 21-yard line. Simpson up the middle, has a couple man's miss. He's in the open field. He's at the 40. He's at the 50. He's into South territory. Is going to be dragged down by Matt Valcourt about the 26-yard line. Great run by Ryan Simpson.
Wow, you know, that almost looked like a broken play. It was amounts to a quarterback draw, but I don't know, it was maybe a good acting job by Simpson, but it looked like he was looking for a teammate to hand the ball off to, and suddenly he's running up the middle in space, and then he showed off that great speed, and it was almost a surprise that he was caught from behind by Matt Valcourt.
Great speed by Valcourt to come and get him, track him down, but now it's a 1st down and 10 at South's 20-yard line. This is Mazzola up the middle, and he's taken down for a short gain.
Yeah, good job there by Dimitri Venitos for Nashua on the tackle. Time not really a factor here. 2 minutes and 10 seconds is plenty of time for the Astros to go 20 yards and pick up a touchdown here. It's going to be up to the Nashua defense to come up with an old-fashioned stop, Ryan, if they want to keep from going down 3 scores at halftime.
Yep, right now the score is 21-7. Pinkerton up top as we got a minute 50 seconds and counting in the first half. 2nd down and 9 at Nashua South's 24-yard line.
Keep an eye on Ginto to the left top of your screen.
Simpson hands it, fakes it to Ginto. He's rolling to the right. He has some room, running, fumbles the ball, but he seems to recover it.
Wow, it bounced right to him. I mean, it hit the turf, and we have a flag down, but how about the luck? It's going to go against Pinkerton. That's going to push him back a little bit, but the ball's been on the turf a lot, and it's not been turned over, and the Astros are very fortunate.
The ball is bouncing in the direction of Pinkerton. They've had a couple of fumbles that have gone their way right back to their players.
Dimitri Venitos is conferring with our referee in today's game, Glenn Colburn, about whether the Panthers want to accept this or not.
A little block in the back. I would imagine South will accept this. Push back Ryan Simpson and the Astros.
A 10-yard penalty for the illegal block in the back, and that'll make it 2nd and very long. Despite the fact it's 2nd and long, Ryan, I would not be surprised to see another run up the middle.
Well, what we've seen from this Pinkerton offense on both their scoring drives, actually all 3 of the scoring drives, they've had big plays to start the drives. Pretty much Ginto, Simpson's had a big play right now. Ginto's has had 3 big plays throughout the first half.
Now time is a factor. It's only a minute 17 to go.
2nd down and 19, and we have another flag thrown. Legal procedure on Pinkerton, pushing back some more.
Oh, this has turned into a Nashua South drive here on defense due to the penalties against the Astros.
So now is going to Make it down 2nd down and 23, excuse me.
You know, with the block punt situation, Pinkerton's getting into dangerous territory here. They might be forced to punt before this half ends, and you never know what will happen. Nashua South scored a touchdown on a block punt earlier.
2nd and 24 at Nashua South's 39-yard line, 50 seconds and counting. There, Pinkerton is up 21-7. Simpson fakes the handoff to Mazzola. Simpson looking for Eric Ginto, and it's incomplete. This went right through Eric Ginto's hands.
Nice touch pass there by Simpson. Ginto must have been looking downfield before he had the handle because he's a great player, and that was surprised to see him drop that football, basically. So now it is 3rd and 24, and Pinkerton is going to try to come up with some sort of a play so they don't have to punt the football. They want this 24 yards. This looks like so far to go, but you never know with these guys. They've got such a potent offense.
Now 3rd down and 24. Pinkerton at Nashua South's 39-yard line. 47 seconds to go in the first half. They're up 21-7. Simpson under center. Simpson fumbles the snap again. It looks like Nashua South recovered it. Let's see which way the rest go. Yes, it is Nashua South's ball.
Dimitri Venitos with the recovery. He's been playing a stellar defensive game in the linebacker position, and he came up and finally, after fumbling yet another snap, Pinkerton turns the ball over to the Panthers. Is there enough time to do some sort of a scoring drive here? It's going to be tricky with 38 seconds to go.
Venitos, the senior, coming up with a big play, scooping the fumble. Ryan Simpson and Thor Johnson, this seemed, I don't know if their timing's off or whatnot, but they've had a couple of snaps that have gone loose.
I could be off base, but I'm going to put the blame on the quarterback. Ryan, I've been looking, through the binoculars at the snap, and it really seems to me that Johnson is delivering a proper snap to the quarterback. I know there's a lot of pressure on Simpson to run option plays and to hand off to various backs, and I think he's just not securing the football on that first step away from center.
1st down and 10 for Nashua South at their own 39-yard line. 42 seconds for Keith Fargus and company to go to work. Fargus rolling out to the right side, running, fumbles the ball. Ball got stripped, picked up by Pinkerton.
Great job there on the strip by number 64, Andrew Daigle
At number
for the Astros.
86, Zach Tolley recovered it for Pinkerton.
Just like that, what looked like a nice little opportunity for South, they forced the fumble. There was nothing about a slippery ball there. It was a nice job of teamwork by Daigle. And who recovered it?
Zach Tolley.
Zach Tully to come up and give Pinkerton basically a new set of downs and still enough time to do some damage.
36 seconds to go in the first half. Pinkerton up 21-7. Simpson going with a reverse. This number 24, Emmett Smith, the sophomore, has a little bit of room. He's down at the 31-yard line.
Did you say Emmett Smith?
Yes, Emmett Smith.
Wow.
Only a sophomore, but he looks like he's in line to be one of the next great backs at Pinkerton.
Well, of course, the great cowboy name of the past. Next thing they'll know, they'll name one of their backs Joe Dudek.
Timeout for Pinkerton.
In case you missed it earlier, Joe Dudek, the famous Plymouth State grad and Denver Bronco, is an assistant coach of running backs on Pinkerton's side. And there you see the clock, 27.9 seconds to go. A new set of downs, 1st and 10 for the Astros. Their strength is definitely the running game. You would think if they ran it a couple more times that they would be flirting with running out of time here in the first half. It would be really helpful for Nashua here on 1st down, because I envision they're going to try to run it, Ryan. They're going to try to rip off a big run like they've been doing all along. It would be really helpful if Nashua South could stuff the run on this 1st down play and force Simpson into a passing situation where they have not been as good.
Yep, 27 seconds to go in this first half. Pinkerton up 21-7. Now, 27 seconds to go. They still have one timeout to go, so they could run a couple, maybe 1 or 2 plays if they hurry up and maybe get into field goal position, if not score on those couple of plays.
You're right. With that timeout, they might try a couple of running plays here. So let's see what the South defense can come up with.
after the big reverse play for a long run by Emmett Smith. They're at their 29-yard line. National South. Simpson fades back to pass, has an open man. It's Ginto, and is caught by Eric Ginto. Touchdown, 29 yards, as Pinkerton now goes up even by 3 scores.
Wow. And you know, they caught me napping too. I thought they'd go with the run play. They went with their talented athlete Eric Ginto down the right sideline. The pass was underthrown, but Ginto was the only one looking back at the quarterback, and that was a terrific job by Simpson and Ginto and the pass protection on the sprint right to come up with the long bomb touchdown.
Ginto made a nice adjustment on that play. It comes away with the touchdown. 21 seconds ago, Pinkerton up 27-7 pending this extra point as the rain starts to come down heavily, and the rain's coming down heavily on Nashua South's side, especially as they find themselves down by 3 scores about to go into the break.
Yeah, and a lot of the fans decide to go into the break 21 seconds early, Ryan, as this is really the heaviest rain we have seen all afternoon. It's a must umbrella kind of day for spectators. Pinkerton on the far side and Nashua South here on the home side. So a discouraging turn of events there as Pinkerton had coughed up the ball on the fumble, and Nashua South had 38 seconds to go to try to cut into a 21-7 lead. Instead, Nashua is stripped of the ball, and Pinkerton goes right down the field with a combination of a run and the long pass to Ginto.
Pinkerton is going for 2 right now. They handed Mazzola up the middle, but he is stopped by number 20, Nick Haskell, and now it'll be 27-7 is our score with 21 seconds to go. Gutsy call by Brian O'Reilly, going for 2 there?
Yeah, what was that about? Interesting call, because, you know, you got the 27-7 lead, that would make it 28-7, and you wonder what went into the thinking there for 2 points. Not a situation where you would think a team would go for 2.
Yes,
unless your kicker's hurt.
That could explain it, but maybe a gutsy call that could hurt Pinkerton if in the second half, if Nashua South's offense gets things going.
Ryan, I hope it does become a factor later on. That would be great if Nashua South is able to get to a point where that would hurt, because they're down by 3 big scores heading into the halftime, barring anything spectacular happening here with 21 seconds left to go on the kickoff.
Unless Paradis and Fernandez catch lightning in a bottle before the break, as they are deep for Nashua South. Kluge kicks this one up. Fernandez will have this one at his 8-yard line. He's at the 20. And he's taken down inside the 20-yard line.
Cameron Cody looked like he had the tackle, number 80 for Pinkerton. So this could be a situation where you take a knee here, right? It's a really long way to go in 14 seconds, and even if you throw like a 60-yard pass, it might be tough to go the distance, unless you got a hook and ladder in the playbook.
I'm with you. I think Scott Knight and his coaching staff just want to take the knee, go into the break, but it doesn't look that way because they are lined up in their spread formation, 4-receiver set. Yeah. Paradis is in the backfield. Fargus in the shotgun. Fargus hands it to Paradis. Paradis has a little bit of running. He's at the 30, and he's taken down about the 35-yard line with time coming down where you're at 6 seconds. And the time looks about to be running off the clock as Pinkerton is going to go in the break up 27-7. We've seen a lot of action here at Stella Stadium. And John, hopefully Nashua South can get things going in the second half.
Yeah, a couple of discouraging elements here. The South defense really not able to coming up with a big stop. And also Nilson Besora's injury. That could be very hurtful to their chances to come back in here, needing some big offense in the second half. Pinkerton, a little bit of a weakness on their punting game and the punt receiving game. You saw Eric Ginto fumble one, but it's definitely Pinkerton's game to lose at this point. South definitely the defending champions with the offensive talent that they have. They have the ability to come back, but they're going to have to play their absolute best football of the year in the second half. With their season on the line, though, don't underestimate the hunger factor when they come out here for the second half.
All right, well, we will take a break right now. End of the first half, Pinkerton is up 27-7 over the defending champs, Nashua South. I'm Ryan Richard and John Collison, and we will be right back.
Mom, Dad, I need to talk to you. I'm scared.
I don't think I can go back to school tomorrow. There's a guy and some of his friends who are after me.
They hate my clothes, the way I talk, everything about me.
I know. You're stupid and ugly.
Did you hear me? I'm scared.
Listen to what they have to say. Take a stand. Lend a hand. Stop bullying now.
Souhegan Sabres, undefeated, actually, excuse me, one loss on the record, but defending champs, head coach Mike Bellevue. And coach, you guys are off to a great start defending your title. This came off a big win last night against Conval. How's the team looking so far?
We bounced back pretty good after that loss a couple of weeks ago at Milford, where Milford, rose up and played a tremendous game. We put up 41 against Pembroke 2 weeks ago, and last night I really thought we were just really firing on all cylinders. Offensively, we gained 510 yards. We strived the balance that we wanted. We had 280 on the ground and another 220 through the air. Didn't miss many passes. I think our Qs combined were 17 out of 23. And our defense, basically the starters pitched a shutout. So we expected a tougher game last night, but I think we really, on senior night, came through and played awesome.
Excellent. And let's talk about that loss against Milford. Milford, I guess, played very tough against you guys, and, they came away with a win. How good is this Milford team, and could you see them possibly as a threat in the playoffs?
We saw Milford the week before they played us, and we said, there are a bunch of kids that had been suspended, 13, 14 kids, and they had all come back the week before us, but they weren't firing on all cylinders. Against us, it was like a different club, and their coach, Keith Jones, even admitted that. He says, we get pretty fired up to play you. We were missing our left tackle, our center, and our left guard went down early. The truth of the matter is that hurt us a lot. Those are tough injuries to sustain for a small high school. We're only 890 students up front. We can sustain those kind of injuries in the skills positions, but it was tough on the O-line. We had people playing out of position. Truth of the matter is, though, no matter who we had in there that night, Milford played really with a lot of heart and a lot of pride. And because of that win over us, they've run off 2 great wins in a row. One was last week on the road against probably a playoff-bound team, Goffstown. Right now, Milford and us, Milford's the hottest team in the division. Us and Portsmouth are playing real well. So, and then it's really going to come down to a battle between Goffstown and Conval for the 4th spot.
Yep, and also let's talk about the play of your 2 stars on offense, DJ Petropoulos, who might be the best quarterback in the state. How good is he, Coach?
Okay, well, he's not might be the best quarterback in the state. He is the best quarterback. When you throw 18 touchdown passes against 0 interceptions, there's not a question that you can be any more perfect than that. Granted, some balls could have been picked this year, 2 or 3 balls. No question he'd be the first to say it. I will tell you as his coach that 4 or 5 have been dropped running clean for touchdowns. So he realistically should be somewhere around 24 TDs and 2 or 3 picks. He's 18-0. He's not interested in the stats. He's a great leader. He runs the ball tough. He's an outstanding quarterback. Was probably had a great opportunity to play Ivy League football, but has chosen to go to a Division III school and play both football and baseball because he's an outstanding catcher and hitter. Got a great head on his shoulders, and he's really had a great year. In addition to DJ, when we're not throwing the ball, we're handing it off to the big back, 6'2", 230-pound Steve Jellison, runs 4.7. Anybody would love to have a tight end type running, with a head of steam like that.
He's
downfield.
Just a phenomenal player.
He really is. And, I kid around and say tight end type. Last night he played running back 90% of the game, quarterback 5% of the game, and tight end 5% of the game. That's what kind of versatility Steve brings, and we love having him. None of that is going to matter unless your people up front are outstanding. We run a spread offense. We have 3 seniors. One in the middle, Colin Cray, a couple of offensive tackles in Matt Comstock and Sean Coltrera. And then we brought in another couple of guards. When we lost to Milford, we did make some changes, some radical changes. And right now, with the changes we brought in, our offensive line is on fire. And I think it's going to carry us a long way.
Yep, just watching your team a couple of weeks ago, your team looks to be clicking on all cylinders right now. And when you have Petropoulos, Jellison, and that offensive lineman that you made adjustments, seems like you guys are in great possession of probably defending your title once again.
It'd be pretty cool if we stayed on a roll, we were able to secure the 1 seed with a win next week at John Stark, take care of business in the semifinals. I know I'm jumping ahead. And if ever, and I know our kids are hoping for this, if ever Milford had to come to Souhegan for a rematch, I think you'd probably see, we call it the jungle, you'd probably see between 2,000 and 4,000 people show up for something like that. Whoever we end up, if we're fortunate enough to end up in the championship, and, as a program, we've been in the championship game 8 of the last 11 years, and that's something that we're all proud of. If we can get there for a 9th year out of 12, that'd be a great thing.
Yep, and when you come to the jungle on a playoff atmosphere, it's definitely a rocking crowd. And also, we got ourselves a great game here. And what's your take on the game? Are you surprised that Pinkerton is up 27-7 in the first half?
So all I've been hearing about, and reading about is all the offense in Division I, and I'm seeing here, on display again. I'm here for a couple of reasons. One, back in the day, I learned the wing tee offense from Coach O'Reilly and Coach Sawyer over in Londonderry. Ran that for a number of years. Sean Jellison had a great deal of success with it. We made a shift 4 years ago to the spread offense. I come over and meet quite a bit with Scott Knight and his staff. Love how he runs the spread offense. We like to, pick each other's brains and learn. So I'm kind of here watching two great coaches. And my take right now is that Nashua has to do a better job sustaining offense. Right now, the defense has been on the field way too long. I think that even though the score says 27-7,
yes,
the game is a little closer than that, but the ball keeps bouncing into the hands of Pinkerton, and you know what? They're being opportunistic. At this point, their ground game is winning. Guinto is as quick as they come. We have a big back that can move and run people over, and they have a small, quick back that can make people miss. So he's pretty fun to watch. But I have no preference who's win. I just want to come over and see good Division I football, and that's what I'm seeing.
Well, Coach, we're glad to have you here, and best of luck the rest of the season. Hopefully you could defend your title.
Oh, that'd be great. We have 2 titles, one in 04 and one in 08, and we've never done a repeat kind of thing, and that would be pretty cool. So I know the kids, they deserve a championship this year, and I think we're going to recover from a loss 2 weeks ago and make a solid run at that.
Excellent. Something to look forward to. Head coach of Souhegan Sabres, Mike Bellevue. Thank you for your time, Coach.
All right. Thank you very much.
Pinkerton is up 27-7 over Nashua South. Alongside John Collins, I'm Ryan Richer, and John, it has been a heavy dose of Pinkerton's offense that's taken center stage here in the first half as they are up 27-7 over Nashua South.
Yeah, and Mike Bellevue, who's about as astute an observer as you can get, the head coach of Souhegan, talking to you at halftime, said that the game is closer than the score might indicate, but it's still Pinkerton's game right now, leading 27-7. They did have a couple of fumbles that fortuitously bounced right back into their own hands. So, and the one time they did turn it over on the fumble, they stripped the ball right away from Nashua South and went down and scored there at the end of the first half. So Pinkerton is in command of this football game. They have come into the game with a record of 4-1, and they've averaged only for the season, they averaged giving up 15 points a game if you break it down over 5 games. So, and Nashua South, on the other hand, they've averaged giving up 35 points a game. So with the score right now 27-7, it's much more likely, I hate to say it, that the game will end up, with Pinkerton scoring a couple more times, maybe ended up in the 30s, and then, you would think Nashua South would be lucky to get one more score. We're looking at 35-15 as a likely score. For that not to happen, that would be a huge turn of events and a nice surprise for the Nashua fans to see their team come back and beat the odds, because the odds are against them right now.
Yes. Recap of the first half. Pinkerton got on the board first as a long run by Eric Guinto made it 7-0. Then Nashua South got on the board by a block punt by Chris Thistle. He blocked it and recovered it, making it 7-7. Then Pinkerton went back on top 14-7 as Mike Mazzola scored from 2 yards out. And then right before the break, Simpson and Guinto hook up on a long pass play to make it 27-7. And that's where we stand now, as Nashua South is going to kick this one off to Pinkerton. As Nashua South had the ball first, Pinkerton will have the ball first in the second half. Cameron DeCecca will be kicking this one off for Nashua South, and deep at their own 10-yard line is Eric Guinto, of course, for Pinkerton. DeCecca kicks this one off and has it at the 10-yard line, at the 20, and at the 30, makes a couple guys miss and is into the 30-yard line. That's where Pinkerton will start this first possession in the second half at their own 33-yard line.
Nice sure-handed reception of the bouncing ball by Jake Bernache on the return for Pinkerton. We had some torrential rain just before the end of the first half. It seems to have let up a little bit. You're a lover of fall colors. No better place than Stello Stadium this afternoon, too.
Yes, look at the foliage right now that's being brought to you by Stello Stadium.
Those red bushes, though, they kind of match the Pinkerton uniforms, unfortunately.
First down and 10 for Pinkerton. Simpson fakes it to Mazzola. Simpson on the run, and he's going to be down for a short gain. Simpson, once again, fakes the handoff and runs right up the middle.
Yeah, that has been the weak point for the Nashua defense. South allowing a lot of big gainers right up the gut. They've got to stop that if they want to have a chance to come back in this one, down by 20 points.
Second down and 5 at their own 39-yard line. Pinkerton has the ball as we start this third quarter. Pinkerton now showing a 4-receiver set. Mazzola in the backfield. Summers goes in motion. Mazzola up the middle. Mazzola has a nice little lane, but only gets a minimum gain, and it's going to bring on third down.
Dimitri Venitos, who's consistently been the best Nashua defender, get a nice grip of the ankle and did not let go, so goes for a very short gain.
Yes, we've seen a lot from Venitos today. He's made a couple big plays, recovered that one fumble by Nashua South, and now they'll be put to the test as it's third down and 1 at Pinkerton's own 43-yard line.
Yeah, it's like a half a yard right here. Of course, the first thing you have to look out for is the keeper by Simpson, but they've been some fumble snaps in these situations.
4-receiver set again is Pinkerton, and it's Ryan Simpson right up the middle again, and he has enough for the first down.
And in fact, it was the quarterback keeper going behind his center Thor Johnson, and into that guard and center hole easily with the first down at midfield.
Another first down for Pinkerton as they have the ball at the 50-yard line.
It's been an injurious game here today. We had an official go down, 20-minute break as he was carted off the field. Looked like a concussion. He fell in the back of his head. But Nilson Basora, who was injured in the first half, is back in action here.
Simpson fakes it to Mazzola and has a nice spin move, but can't get away from the Panther defenders, and he's brought down behind the backfield. Nice play by Nashua South's defense right there to come up with a big stop on Ryan Simpson.
Yeah, the shirt-tail tackle leading the way was Alan Odell, and then he got some help from his friends to stop Simpson for a loss on the play. Always good to see Nashua get that first down stop.
Loss of 1 on the play. Second down and 11 now for Pinkerton. 4-receiver set again for Pinkerton, spreading Nashua South's defense out. Simpson rolls to right, looking for an open man, but he's tackled. Dimitri Ventos comes up with a sack.
Terrific job by Ventos getting help from Alan Odell. They're in the backfield, and Simpson, who thought he had a little more time than he did apparently, gets swallowed up in a wave of purple, and a huge defensive play there on second down is going to make this a third and very long for the Astros.
Odell and Vientos came up right up the middle, and Simpson had no time to plant his feet, and he's brought down for a 8-yard loss.
Can the Panthers do it again? That's the question.
This is where they struggled throughout the game, stopping Pinkerton on third down. Pinkerton with a 4-receiver set now. Oh, has a bad snap, but it hands it off to Emmett Smith. Emmett Smith has room. He's at the 50. He has one man to beat, and it's Haskell who brings him down right at the sticks.
Wow.
Let's see if he got enough for the first down.
You know, they're going to mark it about, I'd say, a half a football short of the first down marker. And for a young running back, Emmett Smith, pretty savvy. I mean, he smashed his hand into the turf after that terrific run, Ryan. And the reason he did that, he knew exactly where the first down marker was, and that he was just that much short. As you see down on the field, it's about the length of a football, and there's no question in the mind of Brian O'Reilly, the head coach of Pickerton, they're going for it.
We're going to have a timeout, Pinkerton. Yeah, on that last play on third down and 19, I don't know what it was, but the snap, Simpson had to one-hand snag it, bring it back to his body, then hand it off to Emmett Smith.
Well, good call, Ryan. He was that close to a fumble. It was a one-hand reception, basically, on the snap, and he faked that he was going to hand it off to Ginto, and you got a lot of players keen on Ginto after his terrific first half. The speedy back for Pinkerton deserves a lot of respect. Then it was, but it turned out to be misdirection. Instead of going right to Ginto, they went left with Emmett Smith and made some really fancy cuts through the middle of the Nashua defense and was almost able to pick up the first down. Now, in this situation just moments ago, they went with the quarterback keeper to the left of center. Let's see what the play call is here. They obviously have called a timeout to dip into the playbook and make sure everybody's on the same page to try to pick up this first down. South does not want to go down by 4 scores.
No, but if they go down by 4 scores, that could be the ball game right now. I know they have a great offense that could put up points, but 4 scores might be way too much.
Against
big
this
deficit
defense,
for,
yes. Against this defense, you know, they're so speedy that it would require perfection on the part of the passing game for South, and that's a tall order.
Here we go, 4th down and 1 at Nashua South's 40-yard line. Pinkerton trying to pick up a big 4th down. Ryan Simpson is under center. Up motion by Pinkerton. Mazzola goes in the backfield now. Davies is ahead of him. They hand it to Mazzola. Mazzola has some running room, and he has a first down. Fumbles the ball. Let's see who comes up with it.
He got it right back. You know, again, the savvy Pinkerton Astros players making a mistake and immediately recovering from it. Mike Mazzola dropped the ball on the turf, but he was the first to recognize that he fumbled, and he was the first to recover it. So no damage at all for the Astros, who pick up the first down in Nashua territory.
Once again, Pinkerton gets a lucky bounce, and they recover the fumble.
Marty Voorhees has been struggling with some sort of an injury in this game. He's just limped off the field again. That's going to hurt Nashua South's defense.
Simpson hands it right off the middle to Davies. Davies is met by by Panther defenders, and he has a short gain.
48 on the carry, Kevin Davies.
Of course, getting up off the bottom of the pile, involved in the tackle again, was Dimitri Venitos, who's played a monster game for Nashua South, trying to stem this machine of offense by Pinkerton. And it seems to be no stalling it, even on that, you know, we called it earlier, it seemed like a country mile on 3rd down, and Emmett Smith's big run has kept this drive alive for the Astros.
2nd down and 7 now for Pinkerton at Nashua South's 33-yard line. Simpson hands the ball up to Davies. Davies has some running room to the outside, busted it in the middle. He's at the 20. He's going into the 10-yard line and down inside the 10.
Kevin Davies, who packs a big load at 220, showing some nifty footwork. I don't think he was even hit until he was beyond 10 yards. Finally driven out of bounds, but not before a huge gain for Pinkerton. They've got goal to go from the 7.
Pinkerton knocking on the door yet again. Bad news for Nashua South, as Martin Vuhis, middle linebacker, is being worked on the sideline, so they'll go without him now as Nashua South is trying to defend their goal.
Congratulations to our 50-50 winner.
Mentioned that coming into the game, South had a record of 2-3, having lost their 2nd, 3rd, and 4th games in succession in Division I this season. So with the loss by Londonderry last night, Londonderry's record is 4-3. Nashua South at 2-3 could come within 1 game of their competition for that 4th and final playoff spot in Division I with a win here today. But that is looking more and more dim. The chances for that dimming by the moment, as Pickerton threatening to go up by 4 scores and totally take command of this football game. What promised to be maybe a seesaw battle early, when Nashua South blocked that punt and tied it up 7-7, has deteriorated from a Nashua fan's standpoint into a one-sided affair here. Just South not able to find the answer to this Pinkerton offense.
Offensively and defensively, they haven't been able to make any big
You're
plays.
Right, offensively too. I mean, sometimes when your defense struggles, your offense can trade scores with the opposition. We saw that last night in North beating Londonderry 49-48, but Pinkerton just in command of this game, barring a minor miracle here. They're about to go up by 4 scores.
1st down and goal at the 7-yard line. Pinkerton trying to add to their lead. They hand it up the middle to Davies, and Davies going to be taken down at the 5-yard line.
Teaming up on the stop was John Bieran Jr. and Chris Thistle, but not until a healthy gain there. And actually, it was a 2-yard gain, so it was a pretty good stop by Nashua South. Only a 2-yard gain.
Brings on 2nd down and goal at the 5 with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Pinkerton up 27-7 over Nashua South. Simpson under center. Simpson hands the ball up to Davies in the middle, and he's rumbling and close to the goal line. He's going to be just short. Brings on 3rd down and goal now for Pinkerton.
Davies becoming the workhorse suddenly for Pinkerton. He's a tough load to bring down at 5'10" and 220.
And we have a timeout. It looks like officials timeout.
Yep, it'll be a quick one. Nashua substituting some defensive players, as among them trotting out to the center of the field is Cody Mon, 250-pound defensive lineman trying to shore up Nashua's defenses right up against their own goal line.
3rd down and goal now for Pinkerton at the 1-yard line. Simpson up the middle.
No indication yet.
4th down. He was stopped just short of the goal. He'll bring on 4th down and goal.
Simpson's pleading his case with the officials that he stuck the nose of the ball over the line. This is a case where if they had it, I think the Pinkerton would be throwing a red challenge flag out there and saying that our quarterback nosed the ball across the line. But there is no such replay rule in high school football, of course. They're going to be forced to make a statement here on 4th and 1 again. We've seen a lot of quarterback sneaks going on for Pinkerton in this situation.
Gut check time for both teams. 4th and 1 at the 1-yard line. 4th and goal. Pinkerton, Simpson under center. Simpson sneaks it. He's met by a host of defenders. Touchdown. Simpson snuck it in there, and Pinkerton continues to add to their lead.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. I mean, Nashua South definitely didn't cave in and fold over, but Simpson was able to finally get the officials to raise both arms, and they take a commanding 33-7 lead.
It looks like on Simpson's 2nd effort, he snuck it in there.
Exactly. I mean, if they had just stopped him at the initial point of impact, looked like the official was not going to raise the arms, but that 2nd effort is exactly what did it.
Kluge on to kick the extra point. And the kick is good, and Pinkerton takes a commanding 34-7 lead going in the third quarter. It's 4:40 to go in the third quarter, and they almost took up pretty much most of the third quarter time possession.
You know, we go back to that 3rd down and 24, Ryan, and just before the snap, you'd pointed out the difficulty that South had slamming the door on 3rd down, but you're thinking, oh, 3rd and 24. Now, come on, they're going to be able to do it here. 23-yard run later by
Emmett Smith. And they were another 4th and 1. The conversion by Pinkerton, just a discouraging start to the second half for the Panthers. You're seeing a lot of big runs by Emmett Smith. Has had 2 in this game. Simpson has had a couple, and Ginto as well. And it's showing right now as Pinkerton is up 34-7 with 4:58 to go in the third quarter. At the 20, bring it down to the 30, and a flag comes out. That was Julio Fernandez on the kick return, and this one looks to be coming back.
Not too many flags today. Of course, the biggest break in the action was for the injured official, about 20-minute break in the first quarter, but otherwise it's been nearly, and they're going to pick the flag up. It wasn't even a penalty on that play.
So Nashua South will set up shop at their own 30-yard line. This will be their first possession of the second half as they are trailing 34-7 to Pinkerton with 4:52 to go in the third quarter.
Seeing Coach Neville down on the sidelines right now. He's an unhappy assistant coach for the Nashua Panthers. The defense just not able to put a stop on these Astros.
Fargas in the shotgun formation. Armand McCray takes the handoff. McCray is met in the backfield, and he will lose a couple there. Number 59, Matt Crow, came up the middle and stopped McCray for a probably about 3-yard loss.
Yeah, Matt Crow, one of the tri-captains for Pinkerton, 5'10" and 205. A solid hit there in the backfield. A loss on the play for South, and probably forced to go to the air again right here.
That's someone's name we haven't called it at all today, Armand McCray, who in a couple of games has made some big plays for Nashua South and seems to be making his first appearance in this game in the third quarter. Haskell goes in motion in the backfield. They hand it up to Haskell. Haskell has a little bit of room, and he's close to about 31-yard line.
That would have been a nice gain on first down, Ryan, but I think on second, as far as they had to go, they might want to rely a little more on the defending championship right arm of Keith Farkas. Now he's definitely forced to go to the air on 3rd and 8 here.
Yep, after that run by Haskell, 3rd and 8 at their own 32-yard line. Farkas in the shotgun. Haskell goes in motion. Farkas rolls to his right, sets up a screen to Paradis. Paradis is going to be taken down in the backfield. Big stop by Pinkerton.
Yeah, that was closing speed right there by Cameron Cody, number 80. There was just nowhere to run after catch. No racking up any run after catch yards there for Paradis. And unless you go down the field against these Pinkerton Astros, they don't give you, I mean, it might look like they have a nice cushion for the receivers, but they close that gap in a hurry.
Gilherm and Smith are deep for Pinkerton at their own 40-yard line, and this ball is getting a nice bounce, and Gilherm picks it up. Gilherm getting taken down at his own 30-yard line by a host of Nashua South defenders.
Give him credit for never actually going down, even though he was swarmed right there. Gilherm made a nice, I think, decision to stop the bounce rapidly heading towards his end zone, but maybe not such a nice decision to run laterally and back, you know, losing yards in the process on the return.
It'll be 1st down and 10 for Pinkerton at their own 31-yard line as they are up big, 34-7 with 2:55 to go in the third quarter.
Nashua needs a turnover, a strip or something on this series of downs, I think, Brian.
Simpson hands it off to Gilherm, and he is met in the backfield and stopped by Nashua South defenders. Number 12, Nick Fredrickson, was there to bring down Gilherm, which will be a loss on the play.
You know, I think something that perhaps Coach Al Neville said on the sideline, we just saw the evidence of it right there. A little more sense of urgency on the part of the Nashua defense to just totally blow up that play in the backfield, and it's nice to see.
2nd down and 12 now for Pinkerton, as they are up 34-7 with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Simpson hands it up the middle and has a nice little run there for a minimum gain.
Initial hit made in the backfield again by Alan Odell. That time able to, Pinkerton was able to go forward even after the initial hit and make a little bit of a gain out of it, but terrific 2 downs in a row for the Panthers on defense, and now the trouble spot, Ryan, it's 3rd down.
That's where they've had trouble stopping this Pinkerton Astros offense. That was Luke Summers on the play on the handoff on 2nd down, and now 3rd down and 9 for Pinkerton at their own 32-yard line. Simpson under center. South showing the blitz, and they met in the backfield, and they bring down Simpson. First they hit Luke Summers, who they thought had the ball, and then they bring down Simpson close to the line of scrimmage.
I thought he had the ball, right? I get the binoculars on. I'm looking right down on the field, but terrific job by the Nashua defense to get right into the backfield and just blow up that play on 3rd down. So where did that series of downs come from? Suddenly Nashua's defense finds a solution to the Pinkerton offense and is able to force a punt here.
Chris Thistle came on the blitz in the middle, hit Summers, which forced Simpson to hang on to the ball, and the rest of the South defenders took him down. And now it's 4th down and 9 at their own 32-yard line. They will punt this away. Kluge will punt this one away for Pinkerton. Haskell is deep at his own 30. He's backtracking. Ball takes a bounce. He has about his 21-yard line. Haskell at the 30-yard line, makes a couple moves, but then he's taken down at the 27-yard line. Haskell trying to make a couple defenders miss, but was brought down.
You know, that was a case, I think he made the right decision by cutting left, but he just should have done it a little bit earlier. Ryan, he just gave the Pinkerton defenders or coverage a chance to catch up to him, I think, before he could get a good full head of steam.
Now we have a officials timeout here. I believe there might be a flag on the play. Yep, looks like they're talking to a South player.
Which would indicate it's against Pinkerton. They might want to make him punt it again. Not the greatest field position at 27-yard line. And the punting trouble that Pinkerton has had, they might want to make the Astros punt it again. Let's see. Or maybe it came after the punt, which is probably not, it won't be an option to make them kick it again.
So Nashua South will have this possession with 37 seconds to go in the third quarter, and they find themselves trailing 34-7. If their offense is going to start making things happen, that has to be now, huh, John?
Yeah, you know, especially with this little bonus tacked on here. Apparently there was a personal foul committed, a big 15-yard penalty from the point of the tackle. So terrific field position for Nashua as they try to get back in this game.
I believe this is their best field position starting a drive all game. Fargus rolling out, pitches to Paradis. Paradis met in the backfield to slam to the ground by number 23, Brett Laporto.
Yeah,
Laporto, excuse me.
It's been a while since we called Laporto's number, which is remarkable considering what a good player he is. Pinkerton does have one of their tacklers down on the field. He's quickly up, though. Ben Prue, the tri-captain, looks like he'll sit out at least one play. But that one lost yardage for South. I mean, they just at a loss of how to get the offensive momentum going here. There are 7 points in this game, came on a blocked punt recovered in the end zone. Their offense has yet to score in this game.
Now they find themselves second down and long, 16 at their own 36-yard line. McRae goes in motion. Fargus fakes the handoff of Paradis. Fargus going across the middle to Valcourt, but it's incomplete, but we have a flag on the play. It looks to be defensive pass interference. This time, Laporto might be called for pass interference on Valcourt.
I think that's a good call, Ryan. Matt Valcourt had some space between him and the defender. I did not pick up the cornerback's number that committed the infraction, but clearly there was too much contact before the ball arrived, and the official was right there on the spot to make the call. Great job of a well-designed play by Nashua South. You didn't know where it was going until Farkas straightened up and hit Valcourt cutting in across the middle. A well-designed play, misdirection sort of play that pays off.
Now we have a one untimed down because it was a defensive penalty. So South will be first down 10 at the 50-yard line. Farkas faking down the pass. Hooks up with Haskell. Nice catch by Haskell. And he's down at the 36-yard line of Pinkerton.
Panthers sending two receivers deep down the left sideline, and Basora was open momentarily too, along with Haskell. It was a question of which receiver Farkas would choose to throw it to as the seconds tick away to the end of the third quarter. So a promising end to the third quarter, Ryan. For the first time in a long time, the South offense is on a roll here as we enter the final frame.
Yeah, we have played three. Pinkerton is up 34-7, but South is knocking on the door, trying to make this a ball game as they have the ball down at Pinkerton's 36-yard line. If any team could probably make a comeback, it could be South with all their weapons.
They've scored a lot of points this season, and they're going to need to score a lot of points in one quarter in order to make the comeback. They need 4 scores, down 28 points, 34-7. So the difference, it's not 35 because Coach Brian O'Reilly for the Pinkerton Astros chose to go for a 2-point conversion, which we're still scratching our heads about here as we stand here. But they missed it. The conversion failed. So instead of being up by 4 times 7, they're up by 27 points difference in this game. So we hope that missed conversion plays a role in the end of the game. It will mark a great comeback in the fourth quarter by the Panthers if and when that does happen.
Fourth quarter is about to get underway. South trailing 34-7, but they have the ball at Pinkerton's 36. Farkas fakes to Haskell. Farkas rolling out of the pocket. Farkas going to run with this one, and he makes a little move. He's at the 20 now, and he continues to run. He's going to be taken down about the 18-yard line. Nice run by Keith Farkas.
You know, going to the guy, and the guy is Keith Farkas. That is the guy that's going to have to bring this Nashua South offense to life. He is a returning defending champion quarterback, and they're just going to put it on him. The great thing about that was the fake handoff, Ryan. If Pinkerton doesn't know exactly where the ball is going, that can neutralize their great speed on defense quite a bit.
South now showing a 5-receiver set. Farkas going to run this one again. Nope, fakes it and try to hook up with Basora, but it was just behind him.
That's a case where Farkas probably wants to go to a stutter step so that he can set himself just a little bit better. It's tough to throw the ball like a shortstop on a charge play for a quarterback, especially in a wet field. That's a really difficult throw to make. And Farkas might want to go to a stutter step before he lets it go, but fortunately not an interception, just goes as an incompletion. But you can see Keith Farkas is an energized quarterback right now. He's become a playmaker.
McCray goes in motion this time. So to the left, Farkas looking across the middle, now trying to go deep in the corner end zone to Haskell, but this one is underthrown.
Yeah, definitely Haskell was the only receiver that had a chance, or any player on the field had a chance to catch that, but really didn't give him enough of a chance. So Keith's going to have to reach in the playbook. They got 2 downs to make this, but they got to go the full 10, Ryan. It's going to be tough. I'm sure they're going to go for it on 4th down, but they need to hook up. They need to get a completion here of some sort. A lot of weapons down on the field. You see Basora, who's recovered from a first-half injury, back out there wide left. He's got 4 receivers in the spread offense.
3rd down and 10 at Pinkerton's own 19-yard line. 4 receiver set. McCray goes in motion to the right. Farkas going across the middle. Haskell hooks up with Haskell. Now it gets dropped by Haskell. Incomplete pass to Haskell, I believe number 80 for Pinkerton. Cameron Cody deflected that ball, that stripped it out of his hands to make it incomplete. Now it's 4th down and 10 for Nashua South, and they are going to go for it. No choice but to go for it. Down 34-7 with 11:36 to go in the ball game. Farkas has a 4 receiver set. Paradis is in the backfield with him. They fake it to Paradis. No, they hand off to Paradis. Great call by Coach Scott Knight, and Paradis runs all the way down to the 5-yard line. 1st down for Nashua South.
I think Coach Knight was the only person in Stella Stadium that knew that was going to be a running play. What a terrific call it turns out to be. Coming off the field, walking gingerly as if maybe hurt a little bit, was Derek Paradis, a key player on the offense. Has got a definite limp there. May have hurt his left side. But what a terrific conversion on 4th and 10 on a running play for the Panthers.
It looked like they were going to hand out to McCray on an end around, but they give it to Paradis right up the middle. Fredrickson now goes in motion. They fake it to him. They hand it to McCray up the middle. McCray is going to score. Touchdown, Panthers.
Wow, you wonder where that offensive series was all game, just as you wondered where the defensive series that preceded it to stop the Astros, forcing the punt. Nashua goes down the field, keyed by that great 4th down run for a 1st down. McCray goes in for the touchdown, nearly untouched. And now we have a little bit more of a ball game here, Ryan Richer.
That we do, and Cameron DeCecca will be on to tack on the extra point. DeCecca's kick is good. And now it is 34-14 with 11:15 to go in the ball game, and things start to become a little more interesting.
Keep hope alive. Keep making those extra points, and you never know if that missed conversion earlier might play a role. It'd be nice to see if it happens, but this is going to be tough to stop Pinkerton, the offense, twice in a row. I mean, it's this 4th quarter has got to be just a complete turnaround from the 3 quarters that preceded it. And you know, in calling a lot of games over the years, Ryan, you just won't expect to see a situation where you have one team's offense and defense dominating a game and have that flipped around in the 4th frame of a game. You usually just don't see that, but that's what's going to have to happen here if the South Panthers are going to keep their playoff hopes alive in this season. They need to go 3-3 at the end of this game if they want to have a chance to make the playoffs and defend their title. They are 2-3 right now. They're in danger of going down 2-4. There must have been a talk to that effect at halftime. We saw Pinkerton score in their first possession. So just to turn it on like this, you know, late in the 3rd quarter, let's see if the Panthers can keep it up.
DeCecca will kick this one. And Pinkerton will see this one at the 20-yard line. Makes a nice little move and be down at the 30-yard line. On that last drive by Nashua South, they drove the ball 62 yards, capped off by an Armin McCray touchdown. Now our score is 34-14 with 11:10 to go in the ball game.
Good tackle there in special teams. Dylan Flesh, the sophomore, number 34, who not only made the initial hit but also helped wrap up the ball carrier for the tackle. Not too big of a return for Pinkerton. They'll have 70 yards to go for a score that would really, in my estimation, put the game away, Ryan. If Pinkerton would score here and go back up 4 scores, that would be a dagger. So it's exciting time in the game for the Panthers.
with 11 minutes to go, Eric Ginto is not in the ballgame. We have not called his name much at all today.
He's got to be hurt.
Yes, number 25 for Pinkerton is met in the backfield. Mike Mazzola gets taken down. Yes, we have not called Eric Ginto's name this whole.
Not even seen him out there, and that's a huge turn of events.
I believe that's why we're seeing a lot more of Emmett Smith, the sophomore. Mazzola's getting the ball a lot.
And it might be why you're seeing a lot more Nashua stops on defense in general. I mean, that's about 4 in a row now where Nashua's defense has stepped up and looked completely different than the nearly, you might even use the word inept squad in the first half. They are completely different look now on defense, a lot more confidence.
Second down and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Just standing up and committing the offensive offside call there was number 86. So feeling the pressure, Pickerton's Zach Tully, tight end, just stood up before the snap and gets called for the offside. Now, Nashua was showing blitz on that play in 2nd and 10, Brian, and the momentum in this game has completely shifted. And sensing that, we have a timeout by Brian O'Reilly for the Astros.
Wants to talk to his ball club, make sure Ryan Simpson and company make a couple plays, no mistakes, and see if they can possibly put a drive together and put this game to bed.
You know, Ginto was so incredibly effective in the first half running the football. I mean, he just, make the first guy miss and then break out to the outside and get the defenses breathing heavily. To not have him in the game for the Astros right now is a huge turn of events that helps the Nashua defense. And right now the ball's going in the wrong direction for the Astros. They're getting pushed back on almost every running play.
Especially in clutch time, you want to have your best playmaker out on the field. This is the first time since 2007 Pinkerton has played here at Still Stadium. Last time that was the state championship game where Pinkerton came away 14-2 with the victory. So right now they have this game somewhat in hand, 34-14, and they like to close it out and come away with their first trip to Still Stadium since 2007 with another victory. Yeah,
a lot of the seniors on this Pinkerton Academy team were at that game. There's not a lot of seniors on the roster for Pinkerton. The tri-captains come to mind, but it's primarily a junior and sophomore team.
2nd down, 15. Summers goes in motion. They hand this one right up the middle to Davies, but Davies is going nowhere. He maybe gets a minimum gain at that. And this Nashua South defense is starting to play with a little bit of swagger, running to the ball and making plays.
Yeah, they look completely different on defense in this fourth quarter and late in the third quarter. I don't know where it came from. Maybe it came from the lecture they received on the sideline from Coach Al Neville, but they have turned things around, and now can they do it again? Can they stop the Astros in the second straight offensive series on 3rd and long?
Big play, 3rd down and 12. Here we go. Simpson fumbles the snap. Nashua South looks like they might have landed on it. Let's see who comes up with. Nope, it's going to be 4th down. Simpson once again can't handle the snap, and it's going to cost Pinkerton as they're going to have to punt this ball away with 9 minutes to go. Plenty of time for Keith Fargus and company try to put another score on this ball, put another score on the board and make this a ball game.
Right, that's had to happen about 5 or 6 times where Johnson, the center, and Simpson, the quarterback, have just mishandled the snap at some point. And during the coming week, I'm sure they're going to address that, but right now it's cost them.
Clucky trying to get this one away, and he does cleanly to Haskell. Haskell will receive this at his own 40-yard line. Makes a couple of moves and then makes another one-man miss. He's in the open field at the 50, has some running room, and he's going to be taken down inside Pinkerton territory at the 41-yard line. Great field position for Nashua South.
Yeah, fortunately, Pinkerton was able to catch up to Haskell because after he shook a man loose there at midfield, it looked like he might be able to go all the way down the sideline, but it turns into terrific field position for the Panthers. They created their own break here. They came up with the big stuff on defense, the fumble by the Astros, nice return by Haskell, and Nashua South has put themselves in position to make this a 2-score game with 8:50 to go. So it's beginning to look more and more like a dramatic comeback, but they've got to be perfect, and that's a tall order.
South going with a 4-receiver set. McCray goes in motion. They hand it off to McCray on the end around to the right. McCray makes a couple of misses, a couple of fakes, and then is brought down in the backfield.
Yeah, you cannot afford to have a slow developing play against the speedy Pinkerton defense, and they made Nashua pay the price there with a loss on 1st down on what was a slow developing play for McCray to the right side.
Loss of 2 on the play for McCray. Now brings on a 2nd down and 12 at Pinkerton's 44-yard line with 8 minutes to go in the game. The South finds themselves trailing 34-14. McCray goes in motion again. Fargus fakes it to Paradis and now pitches to McCray, but McCray can't handle it. McCray gets stuffed in the backfield again. Right now, Nashua South's offense is going the wrong way.
Yeah, that's dangerous, and again, a slow developing play, and you saw Farkas sneak a peek at the would-be tackler for the Astros and nearly just toss it to nobody in particular. It was definitely a lucky bounce for Nashua that ball came back up to McCray after it went down to the turf in the teeth of the great rush by Pinkerton. So now Nashua is forced to come up with a big play on 3rd down. They don't want to have to face this on 4th down. They might go for it, but they need to make a healthy gain here.
3rd down and 14. They fake it to Paradis. Oh, and looks like the Armand McCray got tied up by Labordo, and that's going to be another pass interference on him.
You know, it might have been mutual contact, Ryan. They might have ran into each other, but the defender is going to look like the guilty party in that kind of situation every time. And so with the defender and the offensive player tangled up in the field on a key play like that, it's almost requisite for the predetermined that the referee's going to, or the line judge is going to throw the flag in that situation. It's a penalty. And now, what do we see? What do we see going on here? It's
it looks like it might be against Nashua South.
Is it an offensive pass interference? It could be, because the official's talking to Ben Prue, the captain down on the field. The defensive lineman is talking to our official, Glenn Colburn. He got offensive pass interference. So
wow. Big play on 3rd down and 14 that they call offensive pass interference on Armand McCray.
Laporto had his hands out like I didn't do anything, and apparently he was right. The official saw it his way, so that is a big...
It looks like Laporto might have come a little early.
Yeah, big break for Pinkerton. This has become a punting situation for Nashua, but it looks like Farkas is going to go for it. 4th and 16?
14. At the 47-yard line of Pinkerton with 7:34 to go in the ballgame. This is a huge play for Nashua South right now. Haskell goes in motion. 4 receivers set. Fargus fades back to pass. Under pressure, rolling out to the left. Lets this one unleash. Has Becerra wide open. Hooks up with Becerra, and Becerra's in. Touchdown, Nilson Becerra!
Unbelievable! Becerra got behind everybody, and Farkas, who was hit a millisecond after he let it go, was able to get the ball all the way down the field, and the go-to guy, Keith Farkas, and Nilson Becerra both come up huge on 4th and long. Not only did they get the first down, they get a touchdown.
47-yard hookup, Fargas to Becerra, and now we got ourselves a very good ball game here with 7:24 to go. DeCecca trying to tack on this extra point. And the low kick, but is good. Now it's 34-21.
That just barely got over the bar, just like they just barely got that pass off, and it barely got to Nilson Becerra in the end zone. But what a thrilling touchdown by Nashua South. Of all the touchdowns, and they've had many this season, that's got to rank right up at the top. Keith Farkas, who looked like he might be sacked, was able to square up and throw it about 40 yards on the fly to Nilson Becerra, who got behind the defenders, and they were not able to catch up with that pass before it came down into his waiting arms. So look at this, a ball game.
13-point deficit now for Nashua South.
And it's a heavy pressure. It's a heavy load to call for a comeback of this proportion in one quarter, Ryan. I mean, against the Pinkerton Astros, this is just unheard of, but they're halfway there. Halfway.
Cameron DeCecca will kick this one off. And Pinkerton will have it at the 20-yard line and down at the 30. So this is where Pinkerton will try to put this game to rest at their own 31-yard line as they find themselves up 34-21, 13-point lead with 7:19 to go in the game.
Tyler Calderon on the return there took a savage hit from number 69 for Nashua, Alan Odell, and it's good to see Calderon pop right back to his feet after that heavy hit. So they're right where they started before, at the 30-yard line, Ryan, and this is where the South defense just moments ago came up with a huge stop. A turnover would be really nice. The clock is starting to be a little bit of a factor. They cannot afford to give up a long drive.
Simpson on the run here, and he's met in the backfield by Nashua South's defense, and he maybe got back to the line of scrimmage.
South is playing for their playoff life here, Ryan, and it's very, very evident. All of a sudden, in the end of the third quarter, they started to become a different defense, and as you said, a little bit of a swagger down there for the Panthers right now, and a little bit of confusion on the part of the Astros, who are without their best offensive player. Eric Ginto has not played, has not touched the football in this second half.
2nd down and 9 for the Astros at their own 32-yard line, 6:41 and counting in the fourth quarter. They find themselves up 34-21, but Nashua South has made this a game now, only trailing by 13. They hand this off to Davies. Davies has some running room, but a nice tackle by number 20, Nick Haskell. We'll see if it's just short of the line for first down. It's going to bring on a 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, Davies, who got rumbling in space. He's really difficult to take down, and the credit Frederickson for finishing off the initial hit by Valcourt, and it's going to come down to a, it's like less than a yard. It's about a length of a football, I think, Ryan, here. They're going to actually measure this.
And if you're Pinkerton on 3rd down and 1, it's very, they've got some big plays on 3rd down 1, but it's also hurt them the last couple of possessions. Simpson has had trouble holding on to the snaps.
Yeah, and that's why I was thinking that I did put it on the quarterback rather than the center, because it seems to be a pattern, as you said, on the 4th and 1, on the 3rd and 1, where maybe he picks up his head because he's the guy. He's got the quarterback sneak going where he needs to carry it. It is the length of a football, as the official indicates.
Just short.
Our officials today, Glenn Colburn in the white hat, Michael LaFond. We did have an injury to one of the line judges or linesmen who had to be replaced. The linesman is Gerald Vayu, and Bob Barbarese was the line judge who we believe was injured. Chuck Robert is the back judge for today's game. We had a reserve official step in to return it to a 5-man complement, and so it is a length of a football to go here on 3rd down for the Astros. They've repeatedly gone to the quarterback sneak in this situation, but as Ryan pointed out, they've also repeatedly fumbled the snap in this situation.
So here we go, a bunch formation for the Astros. 3rd down in about a football length, as John has pointed out. Now, the refs are going to take a little time here.
He wants a conference.
Yes.
So let's look at the clock. We got 6 minutes and 11 seconds. Pinkerton would love to win this football game by consuming time off the clock and putting another score up and putting the game out of reach, which means that Nashua South, they don't desperately need a stop on this play, but they do need a stop on this drive at some point. They need and want a turnover. Would be the best of all worlds for Nashua South. There have been a lot of fumbles, and bounces have gone Pinkerton's way. Let's see what happens.
Jumbo formation for Pinkerton. Simpson under center. You would imagine that he'd be the one sneaking this one in. Nope, he hands off the middle to Davies. Davies gets it met in the backfield, has maybe enough room to get the first down, but this one is too close to call. We're going to have to bring out the chains.
Well, the spot shows easily the first down because the 40-yard line was the marker, basically, and if you got across it, it looked like they were going to get it. And I think the referee's eyeing it right now. He's going to call for measurement.
Yep, he's going to call for measurement.
I'm actually surprised. I thought with Davies falling over the 40-yard line, that where the stick looks, it's only a football away from that 40-yarder on the left side of your screen. It looks like, and of course the play is in front of the south sideline, so we can't actually see the football, but it looks like it's well past the first down marker.
Let's see what the refs have to say. First down for Pinkerton.
Electing to go to the back with the superior size there pays off.
Davies has been a load all game, and he gets Pinkerton the first down.
And he's been asked to carry the load a lot more in the absence of Eric Ginto. We don't know what happened to the lightning-fast tailback for Pinkerton, but he has not played in the second half.
5:30 and counting to go in the fourth quarter. Pinkerton is up 13, 34-21. South almost down 4 touchdowns at one point, has made this a game, scoring 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Now needs a big defensive play as Pinkerton has the ball, first down and 10 at their own 41-yard line. Simpson under center. Simpson hands it up the middle to Davies. Davies rumbles for a couple of yards, and he will be brought down about the 41-yard line.
Well, we're down to the 5-minute mark now. Time is definitely a factor, Ryan. There's a sense of urgency we have seen on the part of Nashua South, but Pinkerton will be content to keep running the football and keeping possession of the football. They would love to get this thing down to the 2-minute mark with ahead by 2 scores.
Pinkerton will have a second down and 9 at their own 42-yard line.
Nashua defense has got to be aware of any opportunity to strip the ball away.
Simpson under center, Davies in the backfield deep with him. They hand it off to Davies. Davies rumbles to the right side and gains probably about a 4-yard gain, and now it's going to be third down and short for the Astros.
Yeah, and yet another key play for the Nashua defense. Of course, the longer they're out there, the more difficult the task becomes to dig down deep and come up with that huge stop.
Now Nashua South is going to be put to the test on defense to try to make another third down stop here.
Davies is coming out right now. He's somewhat, I don't know if it's tired. Guillermo is coming in, the sophomore. Number 20 is a sophomore? Excuse me, he's a senior, Jeff Guillermo, who has taken the spot where Eric Ginto was operating. So will they pass it? Will they run it? Davies is not in there right now. My money would be on a pass.
Third down and 4 at the 46-yard line at Pinkerton. Simpson hands the ball up to Mazzola, but Mazzola is met in the backfield by number 44, Thistle, I believe.
It's actually 54 on that play, Ryan, and that is credit going to Marty Voorhees, who's come up with some big tackles, none bigger than that one right there. He actually threw Pinkerton's Brett, make that Mike Mazzola for a 1-yard loss on the play.
Big stop for Nashua South's defense. And now a timeout has been called to conserve some clock time at 3:32.
Are we at fourth down?
Yes, we are at fourth down.
They say third down on the clock, but that's
fourth down.
It is fourth down.
And about 6 for Pinkerton. Yeah. Now this is a big play for Brian O'Reilly's club. Does he punt it?
I definitely would think you would punt it in this situation. I mean, it's almost a gamble to make it here, and why not make Nashua South go the distance, the length of the field to get what is only half of what they need. They need 2 scores, and to give them the ball potentially at midfield, although, you know, that's a high-powered offense over there. They're without Ginto, so that's one notch against going for it. And Davies looked like he was limping moments ago. That might be another strike against going for it. On the other side, they've had of the argument, they've had a punt blocked. So let's see what they do here.
Fourth down and 5 at their own 44-yard line. And
that's their punter.
Is going back deep to punt this one off. And Haskell as well, he's going to be going back to about his 30-yard line to return this one for Nashua South. Now we got ourselves another timeout by Pinkerton.
Man, did they burn them all or what?
I believe they have.
Yeah, I think that's 3. So deciding what to do in a punt formation, they take a timeout.
Once again, fourth down and 5 at Pinkerton's own 44-yard line. They have the ball, and they are up 34-21 with 3:32 to go in the game. You're watching this game on Nashua ETV. I'm Ryan Richard alongside John Collins, and we got ourselves a great game. If Nashua South could put another drive together, John, we could be looking at a possible onside kick to follow that.
Yeah, I'd love to see that happen, Ryan. And yet more excitement in high school football here at Stello Stadium today. South playing for their playoff lives here. They have on the field Chris Thistle, number 44, who's already blocked a punt today, and I believe number 51, Luke Beliveau, who blocked a punt and recovered it for a touchdown, is out there. And that may have been what Brian O'Reilly wanted to talk to Pinkerton about, making sure this one doesn't get blocked.
Lucky almost got this one blocked as well, but Haskell will call for the fair catch at his 20-yard line. 80 yards to go for Keith Fargus and company to make this a one-score lead with 3:25 to go in the ball game.
You know, the astute coaching staff for Pinkerton, they might have picked up on a chink in the armor on the punt blocking. That's maybe why they burnt that timeout, because even after apparently talking it over on the sideline, Nashua nearly blocked that punt. And Luke Beliveau was leading the charge there, number 51, but they did get it off. Mission accomplished right now, Ryan, for the punting team for Pinkerton. They have they were able to get off not only a nice high punt, but no return at all. So you got 80 yards to go for Keith Farkas and his offense.
Farkas in his offense going to the 4 receiver set. Basora, McCray, Haskell, and Frederickson are the 4 receivers. They fake it to Haskell. Farkas looking deep for Basora. He overthrows Basora.
That ball went 50 yards in the air from Keith Farkas, displaying the strong throwing arm, a little bit too strong in that case. Hard to overthrow Nilson Basora.
Basora had 2 men on him that time, but I guess on fourth down, if you're going to take your shot, on first down, if you're going to take your shot, go with Basora. Try to catch the defense off guard.
He could got a him in stride. That would have been some kind of spectacular play.
Haskell fakes it to Farkas, fakes it to Haskell, and now hands it off to Paradis. Paradis gets a nice 5-yard gain, and now it's going to be 3rd down and 5 at their own 25-yard line. With 3 minutes to go, the clock continues to run. Farkas looking to the sideline for the play. We've just reached the 2-minute mark with 50 seconds and counting. Pinkerton up by 13, 34-21. 4 receiver set for South. Haskell goes in motion. Farkas fakes it to McCray. Farkas tries to hook up with McCray, and it's incomplete pass.
Yeah, it's dangerous anytime you throw in the direction of Laporto. He almost picked that off the turf for an interception. Great coverage that time by the best defensive back for Pinkerton Academy, Brett Laporto. And it's a pressure-packed situation right now, to say the least, for Nashua South.
This is a big play of the game. This might be your ball game here. 4th down and 5 at their own 25-yard line. Fargas looking for an open receiver, under pressure. Has McCray open, but this underthrows him. Turnover on downs. And that might do it for Nashua South.
I don't know, Keith Farkas was talking to the official, the referee, Glenn Colburn. I don't know if he wanted to hit after the pass, a late hit on the quarterback, but he's not going to get it. That was a deep pass. They only needed 5 yards to keep the drive alive, Ryan. It might have went to bite off a little more than they could chew. Unfortunately, when you're down that many scores, 34-7, you got to be perfect to execute a comeback, and right there it may have been the failure to get a first down that the Panthers could not afford to make in this game. They are deep in their own end. Now Pinkerton just needs to eat up the clock.
1st down and 10 at Nashua South's 25-yard line with 2:30 to go in the game. Pinkerton has a cozy 13-point lead. Masola looks like he fumbled the handoff. Did he get it again?
Yeah.
He recovered his own fumble once again.
You know, it looked like the hit by the Nashua defender jarred it loose. It was in midair, but Mazzola was able to move forward and just swallowed up his own fumble in midair. So no damage for Pinkerton. That was nearly the huge turnover that Nashua South needed. It's so tantalizing. That's happened so many times today where Pinkerton's put the ball down or fumbled it and have been able to recover their own fumble.
So many chances for Nashua South to get back in this ballgame off some Pinkerton fumbles, but they just not have been able to recover them. 2nd down and 8 at the 23-yard line. South's showing blitz. They hand it off up the middle to Mazzola. Mazzola makes a couple guys miss. He's in the open field. He's at the 5. And he's at the 10. He's going to run this one in. Touchdown, Mike Mazzola from 23 yards out. And that is the nail in the coffin for Pinkerton as they're going to go home and take this one. They're up 40-21 with 1:43 to go in the game.
Yeah, they made it a 3-score game again, and Mazzola, who was able to do some nice footwork, basically waltzed in at the end of that run. And so the dreams of a huge comeback go by the boards.
Now Kluge will try to tack on the extra point for Pinkerton. Kick is good, and it's a 41-21, 20-point deficit for Nashua South as they only have 1:43 to go in the ball game. So, John, a valiant effort by Nashua South trying to make this a game in the fourth quarter, but they just couldn't make things happen offensively in the last possession, and defensively, things just didn't go awry because they let that big play by Mike Mazzola, 25-yard run, get in the boards, and then now they find themselves down 20 points. And now looking at the standings, they have Londonderry next week, and with the standings at 2 and 4, it's highly unlikely that this team will get in the playoffs. They need a lot to happen.
Yeah, and I don't think it can happen. 4 losses is kind of like a death knell for a team in Division I where there are only 4 playoff spots. You have North at 6-1. You have undefeated Salem up at the top at 6-0. This Pinkerton team now, they're 5-1 after today's game. So to get that 4th playoff spot, it's going to be very, maybe mathematically impossible for South.
Fernandez fumbles picks it up. Now he's at the 20-yard line. He'll be taken down at the 21-yard line. Yes, they already lost to Central, who's 3-2. So
Central,
and they have Londonderry coming up. So they need a lot to happen just to get into the playoffs. But due to tiebreakers, I don't think things look good for the defending champs going back into the postseason, defending their crown.
You can look for Keith Farkas to come out firing. He just sprayed it away from the sideline with the play, or a series of plays to call here with 1:35 to go. Of course, South's aim right now is just to score as quickly as possible. So look for the receivers to be very active in this spread offense.
Haskell goes in motion. Farkas fakes it to Haskell. Farkas is going to run with this one. Now looks for Armand McCray over the middle, but this one is going to be intercepted by Luke Summers. Luke Summers is down at the 25-yard line.
Great read by Summers. He was just lurking back there, reading the quarterback's eyes. He recognized that really the only receiver in space to worry about was to his left about 5 yards away, and he just kind of baited Farkas into throwing that ball and stepped up while it was on the fly. He caught it on a dead run, so terrific play by Summers to ice this one.
Well, we talked about South. Now, what about Pinkerton? They were 1-1 on the year on the road, but now that's going to go up to 2-1, especially coming to Stowe Stadium. That's going to be a big win for them. And they are trying to make it back to the championship game for now a 7th straight time. So that'll be big for them if they can get back into the postseason and try to reclaim their crown as the Division I champs. But all roads seem to be going through Salem this year.
Well, it's shaping up to be quite a game at the end of the year between North and Pinkerton. The last regular season game is going to be in Derry, Nashua North against Pinkerton. That might be for home field advantage in the playoffs, so that'll be on the line there. But these two teams, there's a flag as Simpson takes a knee. I don't know who's that against. But.
Yep, Pinkerton is going to go with the victory formation as they will just take a knee with 1:25 to go in the game as they are up 41-21.
Nashua has their timeouts, and they could stop this if they choose to. 1st and 15 now after the penalty against Pinkerton.
With a minute and counting, our score is 41-21 here on Nashua TV. Pinkerton came in firing on all cylinders in the first quarter, and they have kept their lead all the way through, never trailing throughout the ball game, and they're going to go home with the win and improve their record to 5-1 on the year. 5-3 overall, 5-1 in Division I. And this Pinkerton team has played some top-notch opponents out of the division, BG and Brockton. Both games have lost, but those are 2 top-notch squads.
Ryan, I want to congratulate him. Good job today. Tomorrow, of course, we'll all be home watching the Patriots against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in London.
Jolly old London.
Yeah, how about that? You know, the weird thing is watching the Patriots play a night game live where it's daytime where you are. That just doesn't happen because usually everything's on the West Coast or Central, and you know, it's if you're watching a game where it's daytime where you are, it's either daytime or you're at night and it's daytime in the West Coast. But it's going to be strange to see the Patriots playing under the lights when it's midday in New England.
Yes, I think I agree with you, and it'll be definitely a different take to watch the Pats.
Yeah.
And the final seconds have run off the clock, and Pinkerton comes out victorious 41-21 over Nashua South. This was a rematch of last year's state championship game where South got the best of Pinkerton on their home turf. Now Pinkerton gets the best of Nashua South on their home turf, 41-21. Pretty much, John, Pinkerton scored first and often, and they went into the halftime up by 2 scores. And then Pinkerton continued to add to the lead. South made this ball game in the 4th quarter. What's your take on the whole game?
Well, read your newspaper tomorrow, first of all, to find out what happened to Eric Ginto, because that's really important to the Pinkerton's chances to win a championship. They're going to need him. With teams like Salem and Nashua North lurking out there, they're going to need all their weapons in order to win the game. But it goes back to the comment that stuck with me was the one that Mike Belleville made at halftime. Watching the first half of this game, the head coach of the undefeated Souhegan High School football team, he said, the game is closer than the score indicates. It was 27-7 when he said that. Now it's final 41-21. And I would still say that it was closer because Pinkerton made a lot of mistakes and they kind of escaped. The fumbles they fumbled all over the field, and yet they were able to recover almost every single time. The only time that they fumbled and turned it over, on the very next play, they took it right back. So the turnovers that could have played a factor in this game did not. It was kind of a tease that way. And then it was also a tease how well South played for about 12 minutes. The end of the 3rd quarter and maybe the first 10 minutes of the 4th quarter, for that 1 quarter, kind of uneven end of the 3rd, beginning of the 4th, they played like a championship team. But that was the big tease for us because we knew the potential for that kind of team was there to play 4 quarters that way, and yet they were not able to do it. So it was kind of a frustrating game to call from a spectator's point of view.
Yep, once again, Pinkerton comes out on top 41-21 over Nashua South and pretty much derailing their playoff hopes as of right now. And Pinkerton improves to 5-1 on the year, while Nashua South falls to 2-4. I'd like to thank our camera operator, Tim O'Neill, our producer, Pete Johnson, here at Nashua ETV, and our announcer of the ball game here at South
And Mike
Stadium,
James, what did you
Bob
do to earn your pay
Bates.
tonight? Nothing. Nah, you helped a lot. Also, producer Mike James.
Oh, yes. And also my partner in crime for today's game, John Collins. John, you did a great job breaking down all the action.
It was fun working with you for the
Same
first time,
here,
Ryan.
John.
Let's do it again.
Yes, definitely. I'm Ryan Richer saying have a great day, everyone. Try to stay dry here in this rainy Gate City. Once again, Pinkerton wins 41-21 here on Nashua ETV.